What's up, everybody? Once again, it's your boy Adam back at you live on YouTube for the Wednesday night live stream. Hey, kids, blue sky in the house. What's up? Oh boy, I got a lot going on. I barely made it on time today. This has been a wild day, but it's kind of it's an ironic, kind of a weird anniversary. Obviously, it's April Fool's Day, and the government is busy telling us that they're going to send some people to the moon again. April Fools. If you believe that one, good luck, kids. Um, my worst April Fool's prank 2 years ago was the day that I was in federal prison, and they called me down to the office to say, "Hey, Adam, you're going home today." And then, like an hour and a half later, they're like, April Fools, you don't get to go home today from fucking prison. April Fools, you get to go home tomorrow. Wow, man. Imagine that. If I hadn't been in there for so long, I might have been upset about it. I kind of was upset about it, but it kind of gave me time to prepare mentally for what I was about to go through, because I really didn't have a firm release date. It was just a random April 1st. They called me down. They're like, "You're going home today." Woo, all right, let's do this. Oh, wait, you're not going home. Haha, bitch, April Fools. So yeah, I'm gonna believe that we're going to the moon. Yeah. All right. So April Fools, yeah. But so it is 2 years to the day tomorrow that I got out the joint. And so I guess that's a celebration, because that means on Wednesday, I'm less than a year away from getting off that paper and getting that, all these people that want to climb up my ass on a random Tuesday. I'm on probation still. And how did they get that dune buggy to the moon? Who knows, dude? They went up to the moon in it was like this little thing covered in tinfoil, made out of like Tinker Toys and tinfoil, and they shoved a dune buggy into it somehow. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what they did. Oh yeah, and then we haven't been able to. They can barely go for a long time after they went to the moon. They could barely go to outer space anymore. But oh yeah, we went to the moon. Sure. Okay, so but yeah, probation. Uh my probation officer left me alone for almost a whole year. Saw him twice in the year of 2025. Once in February, once in February, once 3 times. February, June, and December. And he only stopped by in December to talk to me about how he wasn't going to be my probation officer anymore. And he, when he showed up in December, he told me I was going under the lowest threat level. And when all the paperwork was done, I'd have a new probation officer and I'll never see them again. But they ever since they switched probation officers, I have to deal with her at like once a week now. So it's not bad. Like it's not crazy time. Like they're not, but like I need to get to a point where this isn't in my life. Like I'm just working my ass off, going to a job, working from home, trying to build my life back. Like I ain't got time for this bullshit. It's bullshit. The whole thing from day one to today was complete and total bullshit. You've ruined my life enough. Let's just move the fuck on. That's where I'm at. But it is what it is. It's another year. I might just use Grok or maybe Claude. Claude, I've been playing around with the new AI, that Claude, the nerd, they always got to name it after some nerd. Um, there can't be an AI called Chaz or an wonder. Well, is there an AI made by people in the ghetto called like I don't know what would we even call it? Chaz. We could call it Money, G Money. Like when I was in prison, fuck man. One thing about being in prison, you're gonna meet. Let's see. I knew Money, B Money, D Money, G Money, Money Bag, Money Bags with a Z, Money Bags with an S, Cash Money, Cash, Dollar, Dollar Bill, and probably six other ones because everybody's got a nickname. And here's the thing: if you when you meet Cash, Cash Money, Money Bags, G Money, D Money, B Money, Money, they ain't got no cash and they ain't got no money. That's the number one rule when you meet a guy from the hood named Money, Cash, Cash Money, Money Bag, Dollar Bill, whatever. He ain't got no dollar bills. He ain't got no cash. He ain't got no money. Just keep that in mind. Um, but yeah, why can't we have an AI with a cool name? With a prison name? Shit, man. Rupert. Rupert hasn't, they haven't had an AI named Rupert yet. Bixby's taken. Samsung took that one. Fuck, man. I'm Gen X, man. If your parents named you Bixby and then sent you to public school, you got the shit kicked out of you every day from kindergarten up till 12th grade. You never had a girlfriend. You weren't, if your name was Bixby back then, you didn't get a girlfriend until you founded your first tech startup, made your first $10 million and bought yourself a McLaren. And even then the girl wouldn't get in the car with you. She'd tell you to fuck off when you asked her for her number till she saw you open the door to your McLaren, and then all of a sudden she's like one of them gold diggers on the YouTube video. Hey, is that your car? Oh my God, can I go for a ride? So a boy named Lindsey Graham. He does like boys, but my sister's name is Lindsay. That's a girl's name, Lindsey Graham. That's his parents' fault, but he fits the part. Is the good name? Is a good name for him. Let's see. We could talk about Christy Nome, or yeah, is that how you pronounce that name? With her husband. Her husband got some big old bitch titties all over the internet this week. She's like, oh, I didn't know anything about it, while she's banging this side dude for who knows how long. Yeah, you didn't know anything about that. Don't tell me your house was so big that you never saw your husband running around in a dress. Like, get the fuck out of here. These people are so fucked up at the top. But so the anniversary of tomorrow being the anniversary of my first day of freedom coincides with, I finally got my client to call the book finished. Files at the printer right now. The book is being printed, and I'm just going to share my screen, and the book is being printed right now. So there's going to be physical copies coming from a printing company in Jamestown, New York. But we also got everything pushed to Amazon's publishing platform as well today. We got the digital proof from Amazon. Looks good. We got to wait we basically have to wait. I forget, there's a time period we have to wait. I think it's 72 hours where they do a review. Probably AI bot doing a review. Rufus, that's their AI name for Amazon's robot. Rufus. Rufus is all right if it's a cartoon dog, but not if you're a dude. No, I would never name my kid Rufus. I'd name my dog Rufus. Rufus. So, but yeah, this book is ready finally. And that's why I'm so tired right now, because I've been messing around with this book for so long, and I'm so tired of opening the file and changing it and changing it and changing it and changing it. So I'm just so happy to be able to move on and do something else tomorrow. I'll have printed copies in my hands. Maybe we'll do a little members giveaway or something. When I start getting copies in my hand. And I also will, it will be available for sale on Amazon. So it's like 130 pages, but I like 18 pages of endorsements and but the book itself, the content of the book is 100 pages exactly, 5.5 by 8.5 inch trim size paperback, and we'll have it up for Kindle. We'll go. It's 17.99 as a paperback right now, but we'll have it up for Kindle probably $10. That I'm thinking that's about what it'll be to download it for Kindle. And I think we're going to set it up so that if you buy the paperback copy, you automatically get the Kindle version. But making the ebook is a whole different game. It's a whole different file format. It's like another project for me. So I'm putting that off for I want to work on this website for a bit and do something different. I need to walk away from the book for a few, and he knows I was getting a little salty, but we got it done. So that felt really good. And I feel like the timing of everything coinciding right with the 2-year anniversary of me getting out of the joint, that wasn't planned at all. And it just kind of feels like maybe this will open up something, and maybe this is like a portal that I'm walking through, some sort of time. I keep talking about the time warp and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like something magical feels like the timing of this lining exactly up with the day I got out of the joint. Feels It feels symbolic to me for that reason. And so um so anyway, yeah, I'm just I'm burned out. You could see it in my face. I've been working on this thing all day, just pushing and pushing and pushing to get it out the door. I'm like, I have to get it done today. So I just sat and did it. Tedious. I had to change the spine width by 10 pixels, which is a 30th of an inch, I believe. Something like that. It was like point zero point 0.373 inches wide, and it needed to be 0.34 inches wide. So, and it made I mean, it actually took time to refinagle the whole book cover just because the spine width wasn't precise. But we didn't know what the spine width would be until the book was done, because it's based on the number of pages, the thickness of the paper, and other factors. But the nice thing is I set up the spine width for Amazon, and then the local printing company that he used, they found a paperweight that they have in stock to print the book on. And the difference in spine thickness was something like a 5,000th of an inch. It was literally 1 pixel difference in my Photoshop file. And I had already the spine width in Photoshop was 102.5 pixels. So I had to make it 103 because you don't want to step on a half pixel in a Photoshop file. So I had to basically calculate everything based on that being 103 pixels. And then the printing company comes back to me today, said, hey, the spine width is 103.5 pixels. So Amazon was 102.5. The printing company came to 103.5. I made mine 103 exactly in the middle. Boom. I didn't have to change the file. I didn't have to do anything. I thought I was gonna have to maintain separate files for the 2 jobs, and it turned out to be bang, bang, smooth and done. It's over. Now, to say that we'll never change or do anything to the book or mess around with it again, but he ordered 400 copies from the local printer. So where if he gets a bunch of endorsements, if he's got like famous friends, he thinks he can get Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills to write an endorsement. He thinks, I mean, Natalie Merchant from 10,000 Maniacs didn't go through, and there's a reason for that, and it's not worth talking about here, but he's okay with that. He could probably still get her to endorse it, but there's a reason why the band broke up. So, who else? John Daly, the golfer, Tony Stewart, the race car driver. This dude's got friends in so many places. It just blows my mind. Like I told you the story, I had to go pick up a rental car in Buffalo, right next to Highmark Stadium where the Bills play, like right across the street. That's an hour and a half drive from his bar in Jamestown. That's an hour and a half drive. We walk into this random Enterprise rental car in Buffalo, an hour and a half away from Jamestown. And when we walked in the door, everybody in the place was like, "Hey, Kurt, what's up, man? Oh, Kurt, haven't seen you in a long time," and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's coming up, "Hey, brother," giving him hugs and the dap and everything. I'm like, who the fuck are you, dude? We just went on an hour and a half drive away from town and everybody still knows you. Like, how? He's like, "Oh, this is my buddy from so and so, and this and that and the other thing." And then he was telling everybody that I'm moving to Houston. And somebody turns around and was like, "Oh, I just came back from Houston. You got to check out the Woodlands." And I'm like, "Well, I'm moving to the Woodlands." No shit. And it was like this synchronistic. And then when I got in the rental van and I pulled out of the parking lot, there was some wild synchronicities. Like I've told you about seeing this the blue Subaru WRX all the time, especially when I was in Jamestown. I'd see one of those like 30 times a day. I almost got hit by one when I pulled out of the parking lot with the rental van to go to Houston. There were just so many random synchronicities that day. But here I am, 2 years away from the anniversary of getting out the joint, got my friend's book across the finish line. So maybe something will come out of this. And maybe this is like the blocker that was maybe that was the blocker that was holding things back for this whole grand scheme of a project that I'm helping him with. So I'm happy about that. That was a really like the weight or the lightness or the relief or whatever you want to call it has not fully set in with me yet, but it's definitely like I'm gonna start feeling it when I get off the stream tonight, and I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the night, relax, probably make a frozen pizza because that's about as much energy as I have to cook, and then we'll see what's up from there. Um, got me. I finished, so I'll take you on a tour when I clean my place up a little more. Just a little bit of clutter, make my bed, do some laundry, get the washing machine out of the bathtub. I got a plant. I got a money tree that I had to repot because it outgrew its pot. And it's kind of like, it's like on this, it's teetering on the edge of like whether it wants to keep growing and be big and strong or if it wants to die. And it kind of, I put it in the bathroom where there's better light. And so it's kind of on the edge of my bathtub. And it's just, I don't know, there's just clutter. I don't even know where to put this thing now because I rearranged the room. I ended up getting a boneless couch from Amazon. And I think I can pull up a picture of it because it's actually not bad. I went through a little bit of, what do you call it? Mercury retrograde is still in effect, the tail end of it. And so Amazon sent me the wrong couch. I had to send it back. And but I ended up getting the right one in the end. And So it's one of these things that comes in a box, and you open the whole thing's made out of foam. You open up this box, and the thing that you cut the bag open, and it just goes boom, and you've got a couch. It just and it looks nice. I mean, it is actually not a bad little couch. It fits exactly in the space that I needed it to fit. And it's more comfortable than right there. Comes in this box. You cut the box open and the thing just goes boom, and you got a couch. And it popped open fast. And what's up from the Netherlands? Just Ice 444A. What's going on? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club. The Wednesday night Cool Kids Club. Speaking of the Cool Kids Club, I'm probably going to do the members only live stream on Sunday this week, but I'm going to start mixing it up. And I don't know, like, I don't have a day that I can just do it every week. I don't really have a day that I can do it consistently every week. Because I'm readjusting my gym workout schedule based on whether I ride my bike to the bakeries on Monday, because I burn 6,000 calories on Mondays when I do that. I come home so fried. I was so fried yesterday from doing that once, going to the bakery and back and working a shift. I was doing that 5 days a week when I moved out here to this neighborhood. I'm like looking back, wondering how the hell I did that. Like, how the hell did I not just die from that? Because I'm just like, only doing it 1 day a week now crushes me. Like, wow. And it's not in a bad way. It's a good workout and I enjoy it. And I'm not like, that's not a complaint. It's fun. And I'm only doing it when the weather's nice. Back last year, I was doing it in the snow, the cold, the rain, the wind, whatever nature threw at me, that's what I had to do. Now, granted, I did ride 4,000 miles last year, and I got rained on like twice. Only twice I got wet. Out of a whole year of riding 4,000 miles, the good Lord Jesus decided not to let me get wet except for 2 times on my way home. And there was like one time on my way in. It may have been in 2024. I did get wet. I did get hypothermia on a short ride when I was living at my friend's house, but that was a 15-minute shot between the bakery and his house. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. Much, much shorter bike ride. But since I've been doing the 25-mile haul each way, I only got rained on twice last year. And neither one of them were that bad. Bad enough I had to put on my raincoat, but not bad enough that like my feet weren't wet when I got home yet. Like, it was very, very, that was weird to me because it rains a lot here, especially during some of the certain seasons. It rains a lot, and I was just missing the rain. It would be a torrential downpour, and I would just laugh and say, yeah, but we all know the sun comes out when it's time for me to go home. And I kid you not, 5 minutes before I'd leave, the sun would come out, and there wouldn't be a cloud in the sky all of a sudden. Everybody just start laughing. Like, well, it's because Jesus doesn't want Adam to get wet. And so there's that. Let's see, what else did I do so everything I wanted to do to design my space when I moved into this place, the couch was the last thing on my list. Aside from like storage hacks, like I was going to get an over the door shelf to put on the bathroom door so I'd have some shelving behind the door. But when I started to like measure things and the clips that go to the top of the door, and I'm like, this is going to be real ghetto and it's going to shake and move around and stuff. But I can get a couple of rails that I can screw into the door, and then I can hang shelves from that. So I have that bookmarked, but these aren't like major projects. These are just little storage hacks because you got to squeeze out every every little bit of storage that you can squeeze out in a tiny space like this, you got to hack your way through it, and I come up with little ideas to just, organize things and doing all kinds of things like that. I got to be careful with the kitchen. I still don't have a microwave. My best friend has one for me. He's like, come and get this microwave, dude. And I was supposed to go last weekend and do it. Um, but I ended up, UPS decided to deliver my couch and my end table, my footstool last weekend on Saturday, and I skipped the gym. I had a coffee spill that was a massive, hard thing to clean up in the kitchen. Took a couple hours. It went everywhere. It went in the wrong places. I had to like pull the whole kitchen apart to clean the mess. Um, and so I didn't go. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go to my friend's house. I stayed home. I put together this couch, which opened up the box and put it in its spot. Very firm couch. You can stand on the armrests and they collapse a little bit. But I mean, the thing is, like, it's almost too firm. For being just nothing but foam and corduroy, it's very soft and plush, but the foam is very firm. And but it's 63 inches wide. I paired it with a tiny little footstool, um, cheap footstool. It's about the size of it. And I also have a camp table that I lowered to the height of a coffee table. So I basically got like it's kind of like I live in a camper, a big camper, like bigger than a fifth wheel camper, but smaller than a double wide, you know? Um, so it's kind of like a cross that's what it feels like here though. That's that's basically the little footstool I got to match the couch. And I got this little end table that fits in between the couch and the bed. And once again, I had to, measure it 13.8 inches wide. It's got about an inch of clearance between the edge of the table and the bed so that when I make the bed, the comforters and stuff can hang over the side and still have room. That's not everything's not all like shoved up together. And so it's a nice little, this was like an IKEA project with a bunch of bolts and screws and things like that. Probably took a couple hours to put this thing together. It's amazing how many little parts they'll send you for something like this, but it's a nice piece and it works nice and it fits perfect. Um, so my living room, my bedroom slash living room, entertainment center, whatever you want to, everything is dialed in. It's really sweet. Um, the main room when you walk into my place is like this room I'm in right now is a wide open space. Everything is along the walls, but the middle of the room is wide open and spacious. And I designed everything, like measured it all out, planned it all out. It was kind of just like, I'd come up with an idea. I'd go to town on the internet and see what I could come up with and just keeping this first room, the space wide open was my goal. The bedroom slash living room, whatever, it's much more cramped, but it's not like crowded. It's not, you don't feel claustrophobic in there, but there's definitely a lot more going on because there's a full size bed and a couch and an end table and a coffee table and shelving, all my shelving because I don't have closets. So I have all my clothes and everything on shelves, a TV, a sound system, and other storage in that room. And but it's not crowded. It's not like you feel like you're living in a closet either. So, but it's cool. I'm digging it. This would be a nice layout. If this was my bug out cabin out in the woods, like if I could, this thing it is basically a mobile home. I mean, I don't think it has wheels under it, but it's on like pillars. And if I could show up with a truck, pick this building up with everything in it, just move it somewhere to my bug out land plop it back down. That way, like, I don't even have to move. I just carry the whole house with all my stuff in it, drop it somewhere else, get back in, be like, all right, we're like bug out time. This would be a perfect layout for like your bug out cabin in the woods. You would just need some extra storage space outside, and like you'd have to get like some sheds, like a couple of tool shed kind of, those pre-built tool sheds and shit like that, to just have more room to store stuff. Just like, if you wanted to, like, if it was a true bug out situation, you would want to be able to store food that, enough food to last, and, different things like that. But it has been like that. Like I said earlier, the Mercury retrograde thing is full effect still. Anybody who was on Sunday or watched the replay of the members only live stream, which I was saying, I don't know. It's probably going to be on Sundays still, but it might be on Tuesdays at 6. So it's going to have to do with whether I ride my bicycle to the bakery on Mondays or not. And if I do ride my bicycle to the bakery on Monday, I might just do the live members only stream on Tuesday and then leave Sunday free for me to do whatever I got to do. And then if I don't ride my bicycle to the bakery on Monday, I'm going to go to the gym on Tuesday. So it might be like, this Tuesday's come and gone. So this weekend, if I don't do it on Sunday, it'll be on Tuesday. And I know people were cool with that. But anyway, if you're not a member of this channel, you can do that. You go right below the video here. There's a button to join. If you already subscribe, where that subscribe button was, there's a button there to join. Let me see. I can pull something up here about that. Boom. Yeah, right there. Let me pull this. So there's, you got your join button here, and the subscribe button. There's a join button there. It's going to look different depending on how you're logged into this. You click on that join button right there. Then you can be one of the awesome channel members. This is a little bit out of date. We have a new channel member. What the heck was her name? Oddball. And somebody else disappeared for a bit. I think JS is taking a break, but I think he was from Australia and said, like, he might not even be able to get on the internet anymore. He might be in hiding because I think they were doing like that digital ID or whatever out there, the Big Brother stuff in Australia. So he might have gotten on the internet with a fake digital ID, and now he's on the run. Who knows? Hope everything's working out for you, JS. Your people got your back here in the States. But let's see. If anybody was on last weekend's members only live stream, you'll know that I was experiencing all kinds of issues with my camera that I've never had happen before. I had to stop the stream, restart it. I was going around for like 20 minutes, half an hour at the beginning of the stream was just a mess. Mercury retrograde. So, and then I really haven't even figured out what was going on with the camera, but I just picked a different camera setting to use today, and it's this camera that you see right now. And I'm not seeing any lag or any problems with it today. And, everybody seems to be able to hear me just fine. So we're just going to, chalk it up. Mercury retrograde. Everything electronic will fall apart and break on you. Every single electronic device that I own has glitched out in Mercury retrograde since it's been going on. The phone, microphones, cameras, everything, every single thing, GPS units, my little watch here, my heart rate monitor at the gym, everything. But none of it has been like broken. Oh, my Bluetooth headphones for the gym, pair of my Bose headphones that I use here at my desk. Every single thing is glitched out. The wireless charger for my phone here is flaking out. Everything. Nothing's broken. but everything's glitching out right now. And so like there's software updates that I got to put on my Mac. I'm like, yeah, it'll be like at least April 15th. I'm not even messing with that. That's the last thing I need is to go update to, I'm on like Sonoma and there's like 2 new operating systems out cuz I'm so anti software updates, but I need to update to the newest one, whatever douchey ass name they came up with for it. Um what is the newest one? Oh, Tahoe. I got to upgrade to Tahoe. Um, Mainly because the newest versions of Photoshop and all the Adobe software that I'm finally there was a feature in the newest Photoshop that I need to use and I'm like and I was still able to use it, but when I launch Photoshop now it's like, "Oh, you need to have the newest Tahoe operating system to unlock the full potential." And I'm just like, "Oh god." It's like an hour and a half. You hit software update on a MacBook, you can walk away from that thing. You may as well have a like go out and do something because your Mac is going to be gone for about, and it's just going to be a blank screen for like an hour and a half, and you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea if it's even on, if it's ever going to turn on again. There's like no feedback to the user when Apple updates your system software as to what the fuck's going on. You just hit a button, you cross your fingers, you pray, and like an hour to an hour and a half later, it goes boom, and your Mac comes back. It's such a fucking nightmare. I hate it. It's the worst. It's the worst software update of anything I've ever used. When you update your phone, it gives you a little bar or something to say, "Hey, it's at least running the update." It just Mac is just like fuck you, black screen, no lights, no sound, nothing to even let you think, like nothing to even let you know your computer even turned on again. Just sometimes a bar goes across the screen and then the screen goes black again and then another bar shows up like 20 minutes later. Like and so the bar doesn't actually mean anything. It's just who fuck nobody knows. It's the good everybody hates it. Nobody who uses a MacBook likes the way they do software updates anymore. So I don't. I put it off as long as I possibly can. I used to be the opposite of that when I was young. Anytime a new operating system update would come out, I'd be the first one to get it. Now I'm like it's like dragging me kicking and screaming till I finally have to do it. Totally the opposite. Okay, Mercury retrograde. What else? Had to log into I am going to talk about the subject of today's show, by the way. So it is going to be a 3-hour live stream like usual. Just don't go nowhere if that's what you're waiting for. We're getting there, believe me. You saw I had plenty to say about the topic last week, and this week's topic is just a continuation of where we were before. I had to log into the AAA website for the first time since I signed up for AAA back in October, and I couldn't log in. And I'm like, it kept telling me my username and password were bad. And every time I'd try to reset it, it would glitch out. And so finally I had to call somebody at AAA and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Blah, 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 this and that. Finally, I figured out they were having like a system-wide outage, probably Iran attacking AAA to make sure nobody could get their fucking roadside assistance this week, you know? So I just happened to need to log into that stupid ass website one time in the last how many months has it been? October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. In a 6-month span, the one time I have to log into that website, system-wide outage. And it took a while to figure out that that's what was going on because they didn't have they didn't have any messaging. A lot of these companies, when their apps go down and their systems go down, they try to hide it. They try to pretend like everything's just fine. They don't want to put a message on their homepage saying we're experiencing technical difficulties because then that makes them look bad. But believe me, it looks bad when 700,000 people try to log into your app and they can't get in. And then you're getting customer service calls. and your phone's going off the hook, and your entire customer service team is answering, one call after the next, and all you would have to do is put a message on the website: technical difficulties, please check later. Boom. You would reduce the number of calls to your customer service by 90% just from doing that. But don't listen to anybody who knows what they're talking about. These fucking people. We're getting there. See, I'm already getting into the subject. Um, but anyway, came back a few hours later. I was able to get in, take care of what I needed to take care of. Everything's good. I'm one step closer to making bicycles for the homeless a reality this week. Some of you were calling me a grifter, saying, I'm just grubbing for money and begging for money and blah blah blah. And if you want to, if you want to throw a few bones in the chicken bucket, it's at we here. I'm since a lot of you call me a money grubber, here we go. Donate.litgood.com will take you to my digital chicken bucket. And all you gotta do is throw a few bones in there, hit the checkout button, drop your credit card, boom. It's the best way to chip in if you want to help out the channel. You throw $10 in that chicken bucket, man. That's like a breakfast at Chick-fil-A when I go to the bakery. It's great. All the other links and everything I'm up to: YouTube, X, Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn's about to get good. We'll talk about that in a minute. Got some good stuff going on there. It's about to drop. And so, yeah, that's where we're at. I just figured I'd share that. But I am in the process. Well, what I did the other day, let me see if I can. Thule Raceway 9-3, is that what it is? I don't know. Let me see if I can figure this out. That's the one. Yeah. All right. So I picked up one of these on Facebook Marketplace. Got the Thule, way better bike rack than I was expecting to get. But I got a 2-bike carrier for the back of my car. It clamps down to the hood real securely. It takes like 30 seconds to set this thing up, but it's big, bulky, and heavy compared to the one that I actually wanted to get. But this thing showed up on Facebook Marketplace, and it's a badass bike rack. This thing would have been like $600 when it was new, and I got it from a dude for like $100. So, but now it's in the trunk of my car. Good thing I got a gigantic trunk that can hold 2 dead bodies, because that's about how big this thing is when it's all folded up. It's huge, it's heavy, but it fit. And it's really sweet bike rack. You can carry 2 bikes at a time. It's got the wheel tray to support the bike. Very, very quick to get the bikes on and off. Very, very flexible. Honestly, I don't really know if I could have found a better bike rack. This thing popped up. It was 3 miles from my house to meet the guy. I was like, boom. Yes, done. So now if I see a bicycle at a thrift store, for example, that could be suitable for a homeless dude, I've seen this more than once. There was one a few weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago, for like $40. A really nice, like, homeless worthy bicycle that would have been easy to get, tune up. So I might just pick up a bicycle here and there, bring it home, tune it up, throw it on the back of my car, drive around town, and see if I find a random homeless dude, be like, here, you want a bike? That might be how I do it. I don't know if I'm going to film it. I don't think I'm going to make videos about it. It just seems kind of douchey to, like, look at me, I'm a do-gooder. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm not that guy. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, the only reason I would make a video or like do something like that would be to like bring awareness to what I'm doing and see if other people want to chip in and help out. So anyway, I started looking at, I got to figure out Give me a second to find because we're live. So, I'm not totally prepared for every single thing I talk about here. But I was bumping around on the internet last night, just looking like where can you donate bicycles for the homeless here in Houston? There's got to be people that do this. Well, I stumbled onto something because there's something in Pittsburgh like this. And now I got to find, I get so many damn emails now. Oh my God, I can't even believe I got to go that far back just to get to yesterday's email. I got to, wow. Wait, okay, now I know what it was. Boom. And come on. So, anyway, I found an organization. Found this organization here in Houston. It's called Free Wheels Houston. And it's like an hour's drive for me to go to where this is. But it's like a little bike shop where they basically take people's donated bikes and fix them up and give them to people. And then they've got volunteers coming down to wrench on bikes and stuff like that. And so, and they had a volunteer form and they were like, how much bike shop experience or how much, you know, they'll take anybody can go and volunteer. But it looked like they were looking for some wrenchers to come down, and they do it on Friday and Saturday mornings for like 3 hours at a time. So I filled out the forms yesterday to like, and just told them, hey, I told them my story vaguely. I was homeless. I was relying on a bicycle for transportation. I used to work in bike shops. I have my own tools, et cetera, et cetera. I could come down and help out. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Meet some people, do what I want to do, but have a group of people around it. Maybe I could learn a fit thing or two on how to do it on my own, or to do my own version of it. Or just help another group. Like, that's just another way to do what I wanted to do. Just, go down and help people who are already doing it. So go to 3 hours on a Saturday. I could tune at least one or two bikes at a shot. I mean, three bikes, if it depends on, obviously it depends on how beat they are, if they're, donated bikes. But anyway, like, so there was something there. And, but anyway, that would be cool to do. Like I said, it's not totally on the opposite side of Houston, but it's in the southeast area of Houston, like in the east or west. I mean, it's west of downtown Houston, but it's inside the Beltway, but like west of the center of the city. And I'm more like northeast of the city. And it would be about an hour each way to drive there. So it's not, I don't think I would do it every week, but no reason I couldn't bop over there on a Saturday morning for 3 hours and wrench on some bikes. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd like to meet people and just, like, network and do something good and all that stuff. And I just stumbled upon this. It just kind of showed up. So I don't know. I'll talk about it if I hear back from them. I don't really know what's going on there. I haven't gotten a response, but that was last night. So, maybe they aren't even checking their email until Friday and Saturday when they're doing their thing, So, if I don't hear anything from them, maybe I'll just take a bounce down there with my car and see what's up, say hi to people and say, hey, see what they're doing. But anyway, that bike rack showed up. I was going to get the Saris Bones 2 bike rack, which was I used to have a Yakima trunk mount bike rack, very lightweight, good high end bike rack, but it was really light, compact, easy to keep in a trunk. And those kinds of bike racks are good for the back. You can put them on the back of an SUV, you can put them on the back of a car, pretty much just about any vehicle except for a vehicle with a spare tire on the back is suitable for those kind of bike racks. They work pretty good. They clip to the doors. They're pretty. This thing though, man, this thing's like next level. the way that it clips to the hood and everything. And there's these little knobs you just ratchet, the thing just locks in place. But it's big, bulky. It takes up a good amount of my trunk. But I'm not really carrying much of. I don't really need my trunk space all that much. I'm not carrying dead bodies around in the trunk, and like I said, I've got room for two easily. If I fold down the back seat, could fit like 4 or 5 bodies in the back. Um, the trunk is huge on that car. But anyway, it was a little bit beat up. It wasn't brand new, but it's missing a couple of the rubber tie down straps, but those are $10 on Amazon. Dude didn't have the keys for the locks. Amazon's got the keys for $10. There's a code on the lock cylinder. You just go to Amazon, you look up the code, boom, here's the key. That quick. So, and the keys are $10 for a pair. So for $20 I can make, and then there's like a rubber pad that is like coming off of it. And I didn't like in the parking lot where I picked it up, I didn't really like dig deep into trying to like fix that and like get it back on nice and tight. And it's a discontinued bike rack, so you're not going to be able to get the parts. But it didn't look like it was something that if I took some time to mess with it, I could probably get that bike rack to function and look like it was brand spanking new. Especially it's got the built-in locks, which that was really nice, because all you got to do when you put your bikes on the back, it's got these clamps. You just turn the knob and everything locks down, and then you can put the key in and just go like that, and it locks everything so that it's a good enough lock that people just aren't going to be able to come up and steal your bikes off the back of your car when you go to the grocery store, or you go to the gas station and you go inside, come back out, oh, my bike's missing. It's good enough. Combine that with a cable lock. Like if I was traveling on a longer trip, I'd just take a cable based bike lock and wrap it around, give it like another layer of protection. Unless you're parking in the ghetto, in the ghetto of the Bronx, you're probably going to come back out to your cars or to your bikes still being on the car. So anyway, but like now, I have this thing in my trunk. If I'm at a thrift store and I see a bike that's a homeless worthy bike, fixer upper, $20, boom, buy it, take it out the parking lot, on the car, home. Fix it up, put it back on the car, go for a drive. Guarantee you I'm going to find a bum walking around looking like he might be able to use a bike. Here you go, dog, got you a bike. Good deed for the day, right? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to like make a YouTube video out of it. It's just, I'll talk about it, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Or I could fix up bikes and take them to the place that donates the bikes, because they try to match them up with people that, first of all, they try to match people up with the bikes that's the right size for the rider. They give people helmets, safety kits, patch kits, it's the all-inclusive thing that I would like. That's how I would like to do it. I just don't want to like just walking up to some random dude on the street, here's a bike. But, does it fit him? What does he do if he gets a flat tire? Does he have a helmet? All that. At least this place that this place looks like they got their shit together and they do it better. So maybe I just fix up a bike or two here and there and take it there. Be like, here you go. Give it to somebody. And maybe it would go to somebody who's not going to sell it for a bag of crack. Like, ooh, bag of rocks. I trade a bike for a bag of rocks today. And then I see the bicycle that I just spent time fixing up, laying by a dumpster somewhere as I'm driving around or riding my bike to the bakery or whatever. But, I'm not judging. If I was going to go give a random homeless dude a bike, from that moment on, he does what he does. It's like if you give a bum $20, he's either going to get a meal, or he's going to get a bag of Mad Dog 2020. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So I don't know. In a span of 3 hours on a Saturday, I could tune up anywhere from 1 to 4 bikes, depending on what they need with the tools I can bring myself. And they say they've got tools and work stands, and they've got what they need. But I could come correct with my own stuff and just borrow tools if I'm missing something. And so yeah, so there's that. And then let's see. So for LinkedIn, I was talking about that a minute. I've decided to officially burn my LinkedIn account because I'm trying like what the fuck is the point for me trying to get a job anymore? Nobody can find a job anymore. That's all I see now is people talking about how nobody can get a job anymore. So nobody with a criminal record like me can get a job. If regular people who are good at what they do can't get a job anymore, I'm not getting a job. I'm like last on the list for the jobs. And the people who are first on the list aren't able to get a job. So what the fuck is the point? I would be better off completely torching my LinkedIn account and going into full troll mode. And I thought um coming up with a fake name, like a douchey sounding business name with a fake AI generated douchebag picture, like Chad Billingsworth or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Come up with a fake name and a fake profile. Maybe I'll still do that. But I'm like, you know what? There's some other people on LinkedIn who are doing this. I did my homework, and from what I can tell, it's their real, like, I kind of weighed it back and forth. Fake account, it's funny and it could take off, but it might be funnier to be like, it would be more credible if, like, to have the balls to do that yourself and to put your own name on it and your own face on it has like a certain ring to it that if I could get 300,000 followers on LinkedIn because I'm a LinkedIn troll now, then I can sell photography. I can do like I can kind of enter into my lit good Adam ecosphere here and just kind of pull people in to the club. I could try to make everything grow holistically. So I think each social media platform I'm going to do something different with. So LinkedIn, I'm going to be a troll. I've already started doing this. I'm creating troll posts, like the typical douchebag business posts. I'll read you a couple. They're not done, but I'm going to create 50, and then I'm going to use a tool like Buffer to schedule them out so that they're scheduled so far in advance, like I'll start maybe one every 2 or 3 days so that I get like 100-day buffer to come up with more. And once I get into a pattern and a habit of being able to create these quickly, I've got lots of ideas. And I'll be sitting here just on a random, Tuesday now, and a random idea will pop into my head because of a video I'm watching or something like that. And I'll jot it down, and then I can come back and I can write myself. I can use AI to help. There's a combination of methods I can use to bang these things out 50 at a time, schedule them, and then just see what happens. I've got like 100 people I know who follow me on LinkedIn, friends of mine. They would laugh their asses off, whether they would share or comment or whatever. And then it's kind of like the what do you call it? The way to grow on X is to comment on other people's posts. And there's a whole tactic to it. And so I could do the same thing on LinkedIn. Come up with like douchey, like smart ass responses to these cringy business douchebags and the garbage that they post, but do it in a way where I'm not swearing, no swear words, or very, very rarely will I swear. And instead, I'm not going to be mean. I'm just going to be funny and obnoxious. Like I don't want to cross that line on LinkedIn that I do on YouTube every day. So, and X, I don't give a shit about X. Like X, I'm just angry all the time. I have a hard time not being angry when I look at all the red hat MAGA retards and their stupid ass "We love Donald Trump" posts at this point, because I'm over that motherfucker. So it just gets on my nerves whenever I'm on X right now. It's not as bad as Gab, obviously, because it's not as bad as Gab because I'm not back in prison yet. So I probably will stay away from Gab. I don't know. I mean, I know Andrew Torba personally, not well, but I worked for him for a while. Like, I could probably get back in touch when, like, who knows what with Gab. But since Elon Musk bought Twitter, it seems to be like that's Gab now. So anyway, I got a couple of examples of my business cringe LinkedIn posts. I don't know if you're familiar. Well, here it is. So this is one of the posts. I don't know which one I'm going to post first, but here's one. Hot take: the 996 schedule is not extreme enough. For those who don't know, 996 equals 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. That's 72 hours. That's not a lifestyle. That's a minimum viable person. I've heard people say you can't have work-life balance on 72 hours a week. Correct. And that is the point. Work-life balance assumes that life and work are separate things. I have dissolved that boundary entirely. I showered at my desk this morning. I have a spray bottle. I attended my daughter's school play via Zoom while closing a deal. I am in a relationship with my KPIs, and things are getting serious. People who work 40 hours talk about balance. People who work 72 hours talk about outcomes. People who work 120 hours don't talk. They just make meaningful eye contact and forward you a Notion doc. The 40-hour work week was built for people who wanted to go home. I am home. My office is home. I don't know where my home is anymore. My mail goes to WeWork. Is the 996 hard? Yes. Is it worth it? Unclear. Am I okay? No. But I am growing. I can't stop. Hashtag 996. Hashtag work-life blend. Hashtag 72 hours is rest. Hashtag balance is a lie. Hashtag live here, work here. So that was one of them. That's the kind of shit. Now this one here is actually a true story. So like there's two of these. I've got two stories. Pretty much they're almost identical. But this is actually something that I saw happen. This is not a made up story, but it's going to sound like it's total fiction, but it's actually something real that I saw at this crazy fucking company that I worked at back in the day. Here we go. And I've actually told the story on here before, so you OGs may have heard this one. But here's my LinkedIn post about it. I need to tell you about the most dedicated professional I have ever encountered in my career. I walked into the men's room. I looked down. On the floor of the occupied stall, fanned out in a neat row, were manila folders, 5 of them, maybe 6. And as I stood there, a single sheet of paper floated down from above and landed perfectly on top of one of them. Then another. Then another. This man was sorting documents while handling his personal business. He had brought an entire filing system into the stall with him, and he was working through it with the calm, methodical energy of someone who simply refuses to let the human body interrupt the Q4 pipeline review. I went back to my team and reported what I had witnessed. Someone asked who the recipient of those folders was going to be. I said, I don't know, but I'd describe them as salmonella folders. Nobody laughed as hard as they should have. But here is the thing, that joke aside, I have never forgotten that man and his folders, because while the rest of us complained about not having enough hours in the day, he found some. Were they ideal hours? Debatable. Were they hours? Unquestionably. He did not wait for perfect conditions. He did not wait for a clean desk and good lighting and an ergonomic chair. He had a job to do, and he did it in the only window available to him. That's not gross. That's grit. Well, it is also a little gross. Please wash the folders, sir. Repost if you have witnessed true greatness in an unexpected place. Hashtag leadership, hashtag grit, hashtag true story, hashtag hustle, hashtag do the work, hashtag Salmonella folders. But that was a true story. I actually saw a dude sorting file folders in a bathroom stall while he was taking a shit. Then there's another story of, I've already written it, but I don't have it in front of me to read it to you. But the story was basically same kind of situation, same company, may have been the same dude. I go to the bathroom to take a shit, and all of a sudden, a couple stalls down from me, I hear clackety, 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 clack, clack, clackety, clackety, clack. Motherfucker was typing on a MacBook. Some dude took a MacBook into the fucking shitter, had it on his lap. I mean, I wasn't watching through the stall door or anything, but you could hear it. I mean, it's unmistakable what I was listening to. Someone was typing on not a phone, a laptop. Someone had a fucking laptop out in front of them, and they were clackety, clackety, clackety on the keyboard while he was taking a shit. And so, like, part of that LinkedIn post will be like, that's for me, the bathroom is just office number 2. Office number 2. And that, like, at this company I worked at, I remember this one time we went to a fucking Chinese restaurant to eat lunch as a team. And I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to eat lunch. And we're sitting at this big, giant fucking table. There's like 20, 25 of us. And all of a sudden, everybody starts pulling out their fucking laptops, and all the laptops are on the table. And like, these fucking Chinese people are trying to bring us their food, trying to bring the food. And they're like, where the fuck do we put the food? You've got the whole table is covered with folders and laptops and all this other shit. And I'm just looking around. I'm like, I'll take mine because I didn't bring a laptop or folders and papers. And I thought we were going to lunch. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And everybody's looking at me like I'm a fucking weirdo because I didn't bring a laptop and a bunch of shit with me to lunch. I'm like, I thought we were going to lunch. Like, what the fuck is this? And it made a big fucking scene in the restaurant, and everybody's looking over like we're a bunch of fucking douchebags, and I'm looking back at everybody else with my hands. I'm like, I don't fucking know don't blame me for this shit show. And all the people that worked there were mad because like people were being dicks to them. Like, get away from me with that food. Can't you see I'm busy on my important laptop here? And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you fucking people? Seriously, why the fuck did we come here today if all you're going to do is this? And then a couple of people pulled me aside. They're like, oh, yeah, you should. Somebody should have told you that when we go out to lunch, like, it's work time. It's not like sit around and have lunchtime. And I'm like, yeah, well, next time I'm invited to go out to lunch with you guys, I'll take a pass. I'll go eat fucking lunch somewhere. Fuck that. And I never did. I never went out to any of their fucking lunch outings again. Like, but yeah, that was the culture of that place. And so, yeah, of course, there's a guy sitting on the fucking toilet, clackety clacking away on his fucking MacBook because he's got to get that TPS report done. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, dude. It was so disgusting. Like, seriously, you can't go take a shit and leave your fucking MacBook at your desk, you dirty motherfucker. Like, seriously, that is some fucked up shit. So anyway, I'm going to show you one account. Just give me a second to pull this up. There's a dude. There's a dude on fucking LinkedIn. I just saw one of his posts today, and I'm going to read it to you. I don't know if it's going to show up when I look for it. Oh, get the fuck out of here, LinkedIn. No, fuck off. Hold on. I got to get rid of the LinkedIn spam. Oh my God. I'm going to have, if I have 200,000 followers on LinkedIn, it's going to be nothing but hell. All right. Yeah, this guy, Ken Cheng. This is the guy you want to follow on LinkedIn. Holy shit. This guy is fucking hilarious. And there's more. I've been bookmarking the trolls. He's got 211,469 followers here on LinkedIn. Boom, right here. Here's his newest. There's the post. I don't even have to go to my notes. Here's one of his posts from 14 hours ago. I wish I had big boobs. Think about it. Women with large naturals are powerful. Let's see if I can zoom in for y'all to see it better. There is no male equivalent. I can't use my bodily parts in the same way. I was between two candidates for sales rep. One had big boobs, the other was a man. I hired the first without thought. Now, I don't care about big boobs at all. I didn't even look at them directly, but I knew other men would, potential clients. So I begrudgingly went with big boobs. I wish my boobs could increase shareholder value as much. Big boobs are literally soft skills. This guy is fucking killing it. This guy is killing it on LinkedIn. So there is a home for a LinkedIn troll. There's more than one. That's just the one that I think is the funniest right now. I think it's hilarious, and so that's what I'm gonna do now. Like when somebody, you got that open to work thing. Nobody really pays that much attention, but mine says open to rock. Instead, I just made my own because I got sick of seeing this open to work shit on all these LinkedIn profiles that say open to work, open to work. Well, I'm open to rock. So I'm already halfway to being a fucking troll anyway. So let's just go all in. Let's just go all in. But anyway, if you want to see what I used to do before the FBI drove a tank into my house, you can go to my LinkedIn page. It's on my, just go to links.litgood.com, and you'd have to go to my professional design portfolio link at the bottom of that, which just takes you to another link tree for now. There'll be websites here. And then from there, you can go to see my LinkedIn. But if I start being a LinkedIn troll, I'll have that posted directly on I've got the light side and the dark side, just like, Satan and Jesus. This is Jesus. This is the angel on my shoulder. This is the devil on my shoulder. Two different link trees with two different sets of links. This one's professional. This one's not so much. This one's got a picture of me in a jail uniform jumpsuit. This one's got a picture of me, that corporate fucking, my Steve Jobs sweater with my clean haircut and the black and white motif. Here we got Adam in a fucking prison jumpsuit who looks a little bit angry today, hairy chest and a beat up old stretched out t-shirt in between a row of prison cells. So, just tells you what you're in for if you go to either one, but you can get from one to the other, but you can't get from the light one to the dark one. You have to, you'll have to do a little bit, you have to dig a little bit deeper. And that leads right into the, oh boy, that leads right into the subject of the day. And that was, telling the VP of HR to see you next Tuesday. And if you know what see you next Tuesday means, then you know. And if you don't, well, you don't. So, but why would you want to tell the VP of HR to see you next Tuesday? And I mean, just look at her. I mean, that is the VP of HR right there. I mean, she's a snotty, smug cunt. She's a fucking cunt. She's full of attitude and smug and talking down to everybody, even though she's pretty much the most worthless person in the company. She's the one posting a lot of that cringe and bullshit on LinkedIn. And, I can't stand these people. And so now it's story time, kids. Gather round. We're an hour 15 into the stream, and we're onto the topic. Oh boy, I'm looking at some of my notes and they don't make sense to me anymore. So I'm just going to skip that one. But there are speaking of careers in HR, first of all, they call it human resources. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But the VP of HR, I mean, that looks just like her. AI did a great job. I was like, that's exactly what I asked for. Just give me some smug, stuck up cunt. That's exactly what I put in the prompt. Give me some smug, stuck up cunt who's the vice president of human resources at some douchebag company. Like, oh, here you go, Adam. Boom, you nailed it. You nailed it. Nailed it. It was like it got her on the first try. That's all I had to type in for a prompt. And that's what Grok came up with. Hey, man, good job, Grok. You know exactly what I was thinking. But speaking of careers, there are certain careers that I cannot date. Like if I was looking for a significant other, I've got a couch now. I was just telling you earlier today, before I got a couch, if I brought a date back to my little cabin here, if I could trick a girl into coming back to my Unabomber cabin back in the woods with all the stray dogs and, whatever else is going on around here, the chain link fence, all the stray dogs running around and the stray cats and the little Unabomber cabin in the woods. She's going to find out I got no place to I got a bed and a beat up old camp chair, a bar stool, and a nice Herman Miller Aeron $1,000 office chair that I'm sitting in right now. And that's it. That's all I got to sit. So if she's coming over to Netflix and chill, we're gonna have to. I mean, I can tilt the TV so we can Netflix and chill at the same time, but we're gonna have to go straight to the chill because there ain't no place to sit and watch the Netflix part. So now I got a couch. So now I got to start thinking about these things, and I can have company over because now I got a nice, puffy, comfortable couch with a little coffee table and a nice TV and a banging sound system. Bose rocks it might shake. That thing is so loud it could shake the foundation of this house and make the house fall off of the columns that it sits on. It's great for a movie. I'm telling you, man, it's like being in a movie theater with the sound. It's crazy. One of the best sound systems I've ever had for watching movies. Oh, it's nuts. But anyway, if I am going to bring a girl over someday, there are certain careers that are excluded. I think it goes without saying. I just got out of federal prison, so a cop, a prison guard, law enforcement, even a girl who is a criminal justice major in college would be disqualified right off the bat. Like, let's say I'm on a date and I didn't know what she does for a living, and that comes up. I'd be like, check. I'm out. I mean, I would be polite. I would be polite enough to okay, yeah, we can finish the date and I'll give you a high five or something when we get back to your car or whatever, but I'm out. I'm getting the fuck out of here. We're done. That's a disqualifier right there. Criminal justice major. I've dated 2 in my life. 2 serious girlfriends in my life have been criminal justice majors in college one of them went a completely different direction and did nothing with law enforcement or criminal justice in any kind of way, shape, or form. The other one had a government job that it was more like statistical analysis and stuff like that of criminal justice stuff. But it wasn't like a cop or, she didn't work in a courtroom or anything, but it was just the mentality of anybody remotely with law enforcement, police, criminal justice, anything like that. And that would include lawyer, judge, anything to do with that at all. Done. done. Like, if I know beforehand we're not going on a date, if I find out after the fact, that's like an instant. Like, I could be just about to, like, we could be just about to do the deed, and I find out what she does for a living. Nope. Shit, man, that'd be like trying to put a wet spaghetti noodle into a sewing needle at that point. It's not going to happen. So that's a disqualifier. That is a no go. School teacher. Nope. I don't really have. I've done that. I've dated school teachers. Can't. Pretty much anybody who works for the government or part of the government or related to the government or anything like government is a no go. I mean, look at Christy Nome or whatever. She's probably such a whack job that she drove her husband into wearing bitch titties and dressing up like a girl and running around the house in a dress when she's not home. Maybe he was a normal guy. Maybe he was a man's man before he met her. And she's such a fucking whack job working for the government. She was a governor or governess or whatever you call it. Like, maybe she drove him off the cliff. I mean, I kind of doubt that, but anybody who works for the government, especially the government now, fuck, man. I went on a date with a crazy chick who worked for the IRS, and oh, that was wild. It did not. I found out she worked for the IRS. I was like, honey, no chance at all. And then she was like bitching about, well, if people would pay their fucking taxes, they wouldn't have any problem with us. It's like, bitch, who the fuck wants to pay half of their income so we can send it over to Israel and Ukraine and send our fucking kids to go die for those countries? You know what I mean? Like, Donald Trump started a war. It's costing like $1 billion a day. Like, every day that the war costs $1 billion, how many people had to work their entire life, pay taxes, their entire lifetime's worth of taxes? How many millions of people had to work their entire life to pay for one day of this bullshit war? And don't tell me about people who don't pay their food. None of us should be paying their fucking taxes, you fucking dumb bitch. You think I'm going to get along with her for a long-term relationship? No. She's fucking nuts anyway. So, and I could sit here and talk about her for an hour. And it was only one date. Wild. Crazy. I can't date. I mean, maybe there's an exception. Maybe someone who works for the government. The government's huge. The government's a big category. Maybe there's somebody who does some, but I don't. That would be a stretch. I can't date a boss bitch. I can't date the boss bitch, the woman CEO, the corporate executive boss bitch. The boss bitch just means that she's a bossy bitch. Like, why do I need that in my life? I don't even want to work for her. Certainly don't want her at home when I get home. I'm trying to get away from people like her when I get home, not come home to that. But we talked about the boss bitch and who does she end up with? The boss bitch usually goes for the beta male. So, because she's the boss, she can't date. You put an alpha male with the boss bitch, they're either going to butt heads or she's going to turn into like the submissive dove. If we're talking about the four birds, she'll turn into like the submissive dove when she's with her boss man, but she's probably going to go for the beta male because she's a boss bitch and she needs to be in charge. And it ain't gonna happen with me. I don't care if I'm broke and I ain't got nothing going on. I live in a tiny little cabin. I'm not getting bossed around. Like, it's not happening. But a boss bitch would, she'd see how I'm living and be like, I don't got to worry about it. I'm not getting chased. The boss bitches aren't coming after me. They're not knocking on my door trying to get up in this. So, ain't got to worry about that. But, the boss bitch, she ends up with the beta male. The VP of HR might be a boss bitch. They're not all, they can be kind of be both. The VP, the one in charge of HR, is usually a boss bitch, but the subordinates under her, that can vary. Um, but usually, like I said, they end up with the beta male. They end up single and alone, promiscuous. They might be out banging 100 dudes in a 6 month span. Um, or like I said, she might find an alpha male who makes way more money than her, which somehow works out in the mechanics of things. But I can't date a girl who works in human resources. Human resources, if your job is if you work in the HR department of any company, you're human resources, whatever. Nope, done. No, no go. No go. There are different careers that I'm attracted to on the flip side. There are careers that it seems like every time I meet a girl who does this or that, we always get along. Um, for example, I mean, I've dated a number of salon girls who cut hair and work in the salon. I mean, if your job, I mean, it works out. Her job is she's supposed to be a piece of ass all the time. She's supposed to look hot all the time. It's a requirement for the job. That's a perk. But there's just like a certain personality that goes with it that I just always vibe with. Human resources, oh my god, no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. We have nothing in common. Like, if you've heard me talk on the live stream for the last 3 weeks when I've been on this anti human resources kick and anti companies fucking people over kick, then I think it makes perfect sense that I could never date somebody who has any kind of HR job title. I can't date a snotty, smug bitch. I just can't. And even the ones that aren't snotty and smug, they're the opposite of me. Like, they're like not in a good way, like opposites attract, but like, no, opposites that, two magnets that where the no, that's like the side of the magnet that pushes the magnets away. That's what it is. They're not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Um, Human resources, the term human resources in and of itself is an insult. It's a psychological trick that they used to dehumanize you and to make you not even a human being anymore. It's the same thing that the Nazis did to the Jews, or that the slave owners did to the slaves when they dehumanized the African Americans that worked on the plantation. Call them a name, call them something that makes them not even people anymore. In the South, it was the N word. In the Nazi Germany, it was Juden. Oh, just a Jew. He's just a Jew. Who cares? You're not a person anymore. You're just a fucking Jew. That's what they call. That's what you are. Go to the concentration camp, you fucking Jew. Like, you're not a human being anymore. And the companies, these evil corporations, they did the same thing. They turned you into a human resource. You're not a person anymore. You're a fucking resource. You're fucking coal dug out of the ground, out of a coal mine, a natural resource, a human resource. You're just fodder to be used up, and when it's gone, kick them to the curb. Fuck them. It's not a human being anymore. It's not a person anymore. It's a human resource. Fuck them. And it matches up with how they treat you now. These companies don't treat you like you're a person anymore. They treat you like you're a fucking resource to just use up, burn out, toss it out with the fucking trash. I shared with you a bunch of stories. I mean, do I have to do it again? Of where my mother quit working at Kodak because they went around firing all the people that were 3 months away from their full retirement benefits that had worked for the company 3 months shy of 30 years. And that was the thanks that they got for dedicating 30 years of their fucking life to these fucking scumbags kicked to the fucking curb 3 months from retirement with nothing. They were supposed to get a pension and all these things as a gratitude of thanks for, giving away a third of your fucking life to our to so that we could, so the CEO of Kodak could get more hookers and blow. And instead you got kicked to the fucking curb when you're like 60 fucking years old and all washed up. And now you got to go get a job at McDonald's because you can't even fucking survive anymore and you're too old to go find another job somewhere. Used to be a person. You used to get to retire and get a pension and be taken care of after your years of dedicated service. Now you're just a human resource. Fuck them. Throw them out with the trash. Gives a fuck. It's just a human resource. You see how it works? And so a friend of mine at the bakery, her husband, same fucking story. He's been working at a company pretty high up as a senior level software engineer, et cetera, for almost 30 years. Keyword, almost. They kicked him to the fucking curb last week. They're like, get out of here. We don't fucking need you anymore, you washed up old turd. That's basically what they did to him. Fuck you, old man. Go fuck off. They just kicked him to the fucking curb out of nowhere. Been at the company almost 30 years, and that's the reward you get. Fuck you, old man. Get out of here. Fuck off, you worn out, washed up piece of shit turd. That's what they do now. Didn't I just spend a whole 3 hours last week telling you not to be loyal to these companies ever? And why did I say that? The focus last week was when you leave the company, you get more money. Number one, when you threaten to leave a company, that's when you get a raise. You work at a company for 30 years, they'll never give you a raise. But they'll pay the market value for the new employee when a new employee comes in. So if you work at a company for 10 years and you have the same job title for 10 years, and then they hire somebody off the street to take your job to work side by side with the same job title, and you have to train this person, keep in mind you're training somebody who makes twice as much as you. That's why human resources, that's why this fucking cunt, she gets up in front of the company and she tells you that in the interests of everybody's privacy, don't share your salary with the other employees because that's your personal info and you need to keep that private. No. That's so that the company can protect their privacy so that y'all don't know how much you're getting fucked over. Because the new guy who just got hired fresh out of college to do the job that you do is making twice as much as you and you've been there for 10, 15 years. You got to go get a new job if you want a raise. That triggers the company to offer you a raise to stay, but then you're also marked for death. They're going to keep you around long enough till they can replace you with somebody else. Then you're out the door. But this is the game you play. You don't stay at a company for 30 fucking years. That's suicide. That's suicide. You won't look at me. You think I'm going to be loyal to anybody who hires me? I'll be friendly. I'll do a good job. I'll do the work that I was hired to do. I'll go above and beyond what I was asked to do. I'll do my work with quality and I'll give a shit about what I'm doing. And I'll try to learn new things and grow and get along with everybody. And I'll do the things. But number one, I'm not drinking the fucking Kool-Aid at the Jim Jones cult. I'm not doing that. I might not go to all the company outings because that's just work. I don't care if we're going to the Pirates game tonight. I don't care if it's fireworks night. Like, it's work. It's an extra 8 hours that I got to stand around with all you guys. And I'm not that's being like, just because we're out having a couple beers and socializing and stuff, everything that you do is part of that job. That's politics. That's how that's all moving and shaking and trying to climb the company ladder. And everybody's watching everybody and analyzing everybody. And that's not for fun. You don't get to go be yourself at the Pirates game or the fucking Steelers. They don't do Steelers games for company outings because that's too expensive, and it's on Sundays. But you definitely go into the Pirates game if you're at a company in Pittsburgh because they can't even give away those fucking tickets. And if you're lucky enough to work for some high rollers, you're going to some Penguins games. I mean, I'll go to the Penguins game. I don't give a shit about the Pirates. Give me some Penguins tickets. I'll throw on my Penguins shirt. We'll go watch some hockey on the company dime. I got no problem with that. But I'll pick and choose the fun corporate mandatory fun building shit that they come up with. But I'm not a loyal employee. I'll bounce so fast from one company to the next. And I just shared with you my whole history of my salary bumping up and down. And it was all, most of the time, it was like a 30 to 50% increase in pay just from leaving one company and going to another. But when you stay at a company, you don't actually make more money because you can't even get a raise that keeps up with inflation. So, now, used to be able to go to Morton's Steakhouse or Ruth's Chris and get a fucking steak for $50. Now a steak at the fucking grocery store is $50 and you got to cook it yourself at home. Eating it off a plastic plate while you sit in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, your job, if you stayed at your job for 20 years, you ain't going to Ruth's Chris now. Your paycheck can't even keep up with inflation. You can't even pay your bills anymore. If you bounced a few times to new jobs, you probably tripled your salary in a span of 10 years. So, once again, these companies, they call you a human resource because when you aren't, they used to be, the human resources department used to be called personnel. It still had the word person in the title. So, that was, you are people. Personnel means the department that deals with the people. You're still people. Now you're just a fucking human resource. And that explains why back when it was called personnel, the executives and the CEO in particular, on average, made about 20 times the salary of the personnel. The CEO made about 20 times more than the personnel, the employees of the company. Now that you're a fucking human resource, the CEO makes 300 times more than the human resources under him. Why? Because you're not people anymore. You're just a fucking human resource. You're just a piece of shit to be ground up in a fucking meat grinder and tossed to the curb. Grind as much as you can out of that sausage and then kick it to the pigs. That's what you are. You're not a person anymore. I mean, none of you watching this disagree. I'm just the guy who will say shit out. I don't have anything to worry about now, so I can say the things out loud that you all want to say out loud, but don't have the balls to say it because you're worried about losing your shitty ass job and getting a call from human resources saying that, pack up your shit and go home. But I mean, HR is useless. They're like the most useless people in the company. First of all, the human resources, they don't find the best employees to come work at the company. Referrals are how most jobs, especially now in our dying economy where our country's about to collapse, if you're able to get a job now, it's because you networked and you had a referral and you have friends that pulled you in. A referral can get you around human resources gauntlet. Human resources is there. First of all, if the person goes through human resources to get the job, it's probably one of the shittiest hires in the company. If you go around human resources and get people in the door, they're typical. The quality of the employees that you get is way better. I worked at a company once. I've talked about this place. It was the company whose stock price went from $18 a share to 6 cents. It's $18 per share to 6 cents, pennies per share in the span of 1 year. But when I was hired, I had a gauntlet of interviews over the course of a whole day. And I had to meet two of the designers in the marketing team. I had to meet the vice president of marketing. I had to meet the chief technology officer. I had to meet the creative director of the marketing team. I had to meet probably a couple other people, vice president, this and that. I had to meet a lot of people and interview with a lot of people. Well, at the end of the day, oh, and I got that job as a referral. A friend of mine reached out to me saying, my buddy over here is looking for someone. You'd be a perfect fit. Send him your resume. I sent that guy my resume, had an interview the next day. 5 like 6-stage interview. So I met with him, who was my friend's friend, and then all those other people. I forgot to tell you that was a referral gig. So I skipped human resources and went straight to the dash. Didn't have to fill out the fucking job application on the shitty ass website. I sent my resume to a dude via email. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Skip all that shit. Skip the line. So as part of the day's job interviews, every single part of the job interview went great. Smashingly well. And which they do. I mean, not every job interview I go on is great, but when I get I'm the closer. I may not be the best icebreaker, but I can close the deal. And so that's kind of how I get, in a situation where I'm in that kind of a role at a company, I'm the one who can knock them dead. Like I'm the guy sitting in the boardroom when the salesperson comes in and drops them off, and then I'm the one who closes it. So that's how I am with job interviews too. More often than not, but it was a great job interview. I knew they were going to hire me. And the last part of the job interview, I had to go down to the human resources office and interview with the vice president or whatever of human resources. This fucking bitch. And she was the nastiest, snottiest fucking cunt that I'd talked to in months at that point. And she's looking at my resume and she's scowling and she's making this face. She's like, well, it looks like you're a little bit of a job hopper, I can see. So she's already insulted me the first thing that comes out of her mouth. Why did you leave this company? Why did you leave that company? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? She's like, oh, I can see here there's 3 months on your resume that you didn't have a job. What's going on there? And I'm like, bitch, maybe I was on a sabbatical. Maybe I went on a vacation because I'm such a high roller. I decided to go to fucking Tahiti for 3 months and find myself. Like, fuck you, cunt. Fuck you. What does it matter to you? I just met with the fucking vice president of marketing, the chief technology officer, the creative director, the something else marketing director of this and that, 3 fucking designers and a couple of programmers. And we all got along smashingly well. And I made it very clear that I can do this job and do it well. And now you're throwing me under the fucking bus, you snotty ass cunt. And so I was a dick to her. I didn't give a shit. Like I really wasn't like I was a professional dick, not like I am right now. In front of my homies, you're all my people. So I'm going to be a little bit different when I'm comfortable around my friends, all of you people. But I was not going to tolerate being talked down to by her. And she kind of was like, well, if it was up to me, you wouldn't have a chance. But I'm not the hiring manager for this, so we're just going to have to see what they say. And I'm like, you do that. You go see what they have to say. I get home. I wasn't even home yet from the freaking job interview. And I had an offer letter in my email box from her. She had to send me the offer letter, which was a nice satisfaction And then I didn't even take the offer. I made her give me more. Because fuck it. So that was how she treated me. And it wasn't a good experience. And she was a bitch. She was nasty when I started there. She was mean. She was just an awful human being. Trying to treat me like I'm just some human resource, like we're talking about, right? Everybody else on that team were that honestly, out of all the groups of people I've worked with in my career, I look back at that company and the people I worked with there as a whole of the team that I mean, it was about 20 to 25 people. I loved these people. They were great. We all got along really well. We became good enough friends with each other. A lot of people left that company, went to work at, I'll just say it because it don't matter, Dick's Sporting Goods. Their headquarters is in Pittsburgh. A bunch of people left that company together and went to Dick's Sporting Goods all together. I'm talking like 10 out of 20 people. And they're all still working at Dick's Sporting Goods last time I checked, and they're all like good friends with each other. It was a very good place to work, and everybody who was on my team was fucking great to be around and work with. And it was a really good experience. But that HR woman was a fucking bitch. She was horrid. Horrid. So another example from that company about how human resources are completely fucking useless people. Another example, the creative director of the marketing team that I was on wanted to hire a good friend of his that he had worked with at another design studio back in the day. And he told the dude, send me your resume. I'll get you in. It was like, I mean, it was already a done deal. Like I said, referrals, if you've got friends when you're looking for a job, ask your friends. Bounce around to all your different people in your network, because if you get along with people, I have friends still, believe it or not, even though I did a bid in federal prison. I have people who would vouch for me that I've worked with in the past, who know me, who think it's bullshit that I was thrown in prison for a fucking Twitter post. Like, there are people who got my back. I'm surprised, believe it or not, when I came home from prison, I didn't think anybody was going to want to be my friend anymore. Turns out I was very much wrong about that. Very wrong. With the distance and things like that. But no, I've had a lot of conversations with people since I've been home. And no, people do have my back, and they don't believe I was treated fairly. And they're like, yeah, that was pretty stupid, Adam. Like, nobody will disagree with that. I agree with that. But aside from that, people do have my back. Like, when I decide to be a LinkedIn troll and burn my LinkedIn account, I have a feeling that some of these people are going to help me grow, because they're going to like and share and comment. And I think they're going to participate a little bit, because I guarantee you all these people are sick and tired of the LinkedIn cringe fest, and they're going to see Adam. Here's Adam not giving a fuck as usual. Let's see where he goes with this. But anyway, head of human resources. Okay, so this dude, I'm not going to say names, but he sent the resume to the company through the company website. That was his mistake, because it went to human resources. So a month goes by, and this dude, creative director, cool dude, really cool dude. I love this guy. Cool motherfucker. Anyway, this dude from outside emails him saying, hey, did you get my resume? I mailed it to you like a month ago. What's going on? Dude's like, I never got your resume. Who'd you send it to? And he goes, I sent it through the website. He's like, oh, that was your mistake. He's like, send it to me. I said, send it to me. Here's my email address. Send it to me. So there's a good ending to this story. He sends the resume to the creative director directly. Creative director prints it out, goes down to human resources and he's like, hey, do you have a resume from this guy? He says he sent it in over a month ago. And she goes, oh yeah, I saw that. She was like, I wasn't very impressed by him. I just threw it in the trash. I don't think he's the kind of guy. And my creative director was like, "The fuck you are, bitch." He threw a fit. He was like, "That's not your fucking job. Your job is not to decide who gets to work here and who doesn't. That's my fucking job. I'm the hiring manager. I get to decide who works here and who doesn't. You gather the fucking resumes and you send them to me. I make the decision about who comes in for the interview and who doesn't and who gets hired and who doesn't. You fill out the paperwork. That's your job, honey." He was mad. Like, he threw a fit. He went to the VP of marketing, who is, put it this way, I'm fucking crazy. If you've been watching this channel, you've been hearing me talk for a while, I'm batshit crazy. This dude, the vice president of marketing at this company, I told him in a meeting of 30 people one day, I don't want to say his name, but I was like, "Homie," I said his name. I said, "You know why I like working with you so much? Because for the first time in my life, I'm not the craziest guy at work." And everybody in the room started laughing because it was true. This dude was nuts. Like, this dude would throw temper tantrums, and he threw a phone at somebody once. I don't even know, but I love the guy. The person who got the phone thrown at them deserved it. I'm just going to say, but this guy was fucking great. I told the story once about my boss at work who told Tom Cruise to go fuck himself. That's the guy. Told Tom Cruise was filming the Jack Reacher movie in Pittsburgh right in front of this guy's apartment building. And he had to go home to grab lunch. And Tom Cruise, like, they tried to block him, and he was like, "Fuck you, Tom Cruise." And then he looked over at Penelope Cruz, who's his girlfriend, and was like, "Why the fuck are you dating this fucking retard? Aren't you getting sick of all his Scientology bullshit by now?" And she starts laughing her ass off. And then, like, 2 weeks later, they broke up. It was all over the news. But anyway, that guy, that crazy motherfucker that told Tom Cruise to go fuck himself, that was the boss I'm talking about now, who I said in a meeting of like 30 people, I'm like, "I'm just glad I'm not the craziest guy at work for once." Because I was second place. There was someone worse than me, and he was higher up too. So I got a lot of freedom with that, because this dude had my back. He loved me, and I loved him. And we all loved each other. We were a very tightly knit team. We all loved working with each other. We all had each other's back. Something fierce. And you had to be at a cutthroat company like that went from $18 a share to 6 pennies per share in their stock. They got kicked off the NASDAQ. They were trading on the penny stocks, pink sheets, that shit that the Wolf of Wall Street movie's all about. Them bullshit stocks that Leonardo DiCaprio was selling. That's where their stock ended up. Whole shit show, but we all had each other's back. And so my creative director, not the VP of HR, but he had some balls. He told the human resources chick to go fuck herself, basically. Said, your job is to gather the resumes and send them to me. And you do the fucking paperwork. You don't make decisions here. I make decisions. So he told the VP of HR, or not HR, VP of marketing, the crazy dude who told Tom Cruise to go fuck himself. And he threw a fucking fit. Crazy fit, like not throwing the phone at the wall fit, but like screaming so loud out the door of his door of his office was closed, and he was screaming at her so loud I could hear it. And I was far away, and we were all listening, and we were all laughing, and we're all on the company chat going, "Oh my God, this is so fucking great." And so she didn't give that dude's resume to my creative director for over a month because she didn't think he was any good. So he went down. He's like, "Bitch, give me all the resumes that came in for that job. We need to hire somebody, and we haven't found anybody yet. Give me all the resumes." She had a whole bunch of fucking resumes that people had sent in, all of them qualified people, and she was just sitting on them because she didn't think any of them were good. So anyway, long story short, we hired that guy. Like, he didn't even have to come in for the fucking interview. He already had the job. because he knew my creative director and him were friends. And it was the creative director's decision on who he wanted to hire. So it was already, a decision was already made. It just needed paperwork done. They didn't need to do the job interview. The decision was already made. And this dude was cool as shit. He was cool. I liked him. I got along with him. And so anyway, the creative director, he left to go to Dick's Sporting Goods. And the dude that he hired, that HR didn't want anything to do with, he became the creative director of the whole marketing team. Imagine that. So he did know his shit. He did know what he was doing. He was good at his job. Imagine that. Human Resources told him to take a fucking hike, threw his resume in the trash, and he was probably the most qualified candidate out of all the candidates that applied for the job. HR is fucking useless. They're completely fucking useless. These are the people. This is the problem right now. If you're relying on, if you have to go through Human Resources to find a job, good fucking luck. This is why you're sending 900 resumes out to these job applications, jumping through all these fucking hoops and all this bullshit. And you get zero response from 800 of those resumes. They just go into a black hole. And then for 95 of them, you get a form letter, pre-formatted, pre-written rejection email that from 95 of those companies that are all exactly the same wording. So they must be using the same HR bot system. And then maybe you got an interview out of the 900 resumes you sent out. Maybe you got 5 interviews. 4 of them, which ghosted you after the first round, didn't even tell you whether you got the job or not, just fucking vanished. Ghost. And then you went on 6 rounds of job interviews with one of the 900 companies you applied to. And then maybe you got a job offer. And then in my case, the job offer would be rescinded once they run a criminal background check and see that I'm the worst human being that ever lived because I said some bullshit on Twitter and went to prison for a fucking Twitter post. These are the idiots. These are the same these HR cunts are the same idiots who tell you some shit like, oh, well, it looks to me like you have a lot of experience. You have several years of experience. And I'm sorry to tell you, but that you're overqualified for this job. And then they tell the next candidate, oh, you don't have a lot of experience doing this, do you? Well, we're sorry, but we need someone who's more qualified. Well, what's it going to be, you fucking cunt? If you got experience, you're overqualified. If you don't have experience, you need someone more qualified. What the fuck do you need? Come on, Goldilocks. The porridge is too hot. The porridge is too cold. Which one's going to be just right? Fuck, man. Or they'll ask you some dumb shit like, do you have 15 years of experience with some technology that just came out last year? That happens a lot in programming. Some new fucking programming language. Everybody was using Angular last year, but now we're using React, which is just another JavaScript framework. Oh, so if you have Angular on your resume, oh, well, that's from last year. We're looking for React now. Well, if you're an expert on fucking Angular, you can probably hack your way to figure out React pretty quick. That's like saying, I'm trying to think of 2 similar pieces of software, but everything's a fucking monopoly now, so I don't know. It's like using Final Cut Pro on the Mac to edit video, and somebody says, well, we need someone who uses Premiere. They're the same fucking thing. If you can use Premiere, you can use Final Cut. It's almost the exact same fucking interface. There's some differences, but if you can edit video, if you can use Final Cut, you can use Premiere. If you can use Premiere, you can use Final Cut. It's the same thing with programming. If you can use Angular, you can use React. If you understand React, you could probably learn Angular. And these technologies, back when they were new technologies, everybody was switching from a tool called Sketch for UX design, what I do. Everybody was switching over from a tool called Sketch to a tool called Figma. They both do the exact same thing. They're the same fucking software, 2 different companies with a competing product. One is better at some things, the other one's better at other things. They both kind of suck. They're both modern, bug riddled garbage software, but they were both. Well, I mean, it was like a 6-month span. Everybody switched. Everybody in the entire fucking industry all at once switched from Sketch to Figma. And I'm talking, it was like a 6. And then if you had Sketch on your resume 7 months after they made that switch, like, or a month after that switch was done, I'm telling you, every single job posting went from Sketch to Figma. And if they didn't see Figma on your resume, you're a washed up piece of shit who doesn't have any fucking business doing this for a living anymore. It's just another fucking tool. It's like I drive a Chevy S10 and I switched to a Ford F-150. That doesn't mean I don't know how to drive a fucking pickup truck. I went from a Chevy Silverado to a Toyota Tacoma or a Toyota Tundra. They're the same size, right? That's like because you switched from a Chevy Silverado to a Toyota Tacoma, you no longer know how to drive a pickup truck anymore. They're the same fucking thing. They both have a steering wheel. They both have a shifter thing. They both got brakes. They both got a turn signal, fucking wipers to wipe the water off the windshield. Like, they're the same fucking thing. But these companies will treat you like you're a washed up piece of shit if during that 6-month span when everybody decided Sketch is no good, we all use Figma now. And it was overnight, and it was the entire UX industry, soup to nuts. I don't understand. It was a wild one. I know why they switched because I know both pieces of software, but I didn't have a lot of experience with Figma yet. And so people were putting me on blast for it. And I'm like, really? I've been doing this for 25 fucking years. And because I didn't switch to Figma last month when everybody else did, that makes me a washed up, worthless sack of shit now. The 25 years I've been doing this shit don't count for nothing. But that's what HR will tell you. The hiring manager knows. The hiring manager is me. The hiring manager knows what I know. And they agree with me on every single thing I just said. You got to get past the stupid HR bimbo that's looking at your resume going, oh, it says you used Sketch at that job. Well, we use Figma, so we don't want to hire you. Oh, it says that you used to drive a Chevy Silverado. Well, we have Ford F-150s in our fleet, so you can't be a driver for us. It's like you have your CDL. And like, oh, you used to drive a Mack? Well, we have Kenworth at our trucking company, so you can't work here. Because you don't drive Kenworth, you drive Mack trucks. We have Kenworth. You obviously can't drive a Kenworth if you used to drive Mack. It's like saying you can't drive a fucking Ford Mustang because you used to have a Dodge Charger. Like, it's so fucking stupid. But that's what human resources, I am literally telling you, that is what human resources people do when they look at your resume. They're too fucking stupid to know what you actually do and what value you bring to the company. And they don't know how to match people up with the jobs. And the ways that they match people with the jobs have absolutely nothing to do with the fucking job or your ability to be able to do the job or anything useful. They are the most useless pieces of shit at the fucking company. They shouldn't even be at the company. It's pointless for them to be there. They don't do anything useful for the companies they work for. Oh, but going back to the guy who became the creative director at the company I worked for, the VP of HR, she lost her job. Crazy ass. I want to say his name. If any of you are watching it and you know me and you used to work with me there, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Everybody knows who told Tom Cruise to go fuck himself. Come on. But no, because of him and the creative director and that whole fiasco with HR and the fact that that's not the first. She did it to me. She tried to railroad me from getting a job there. The VP of marketing, the creative director, 2 of the graphic designers, some other marketing director and the CTO and a couple of programmers, they all wanted to hire me. the fucking human resources bitch wanted to kick me to the curb. She obviously got outvoted there, and I got the job. She tried to keep the new creative director from being hired. She railroaded a bunch of people from being able to get in the door at that company. And the VP, crazy guy who told Tom Cruise to go fuck himself, he got her fired because he had enough clout that he steamrolled over her and got her out the door. She was fired like a week later after that whole fiasco about that dude's resume not being sent. He was like, that's the last fucking straw from her. Those are his exact words. The last fucking straw from that fucking bitch. He marched down to whoever the fuck's office, got her fired. Like, she was packing. She packed her shit and left like within a day or two. So she got fired for being the stupid HR bitch who is completely fucking useless. I just forgot about that. I forgot to tell you the part how she got fired. Justice was done in that situation. She deserved to lose her job because she was fucking useless. But, it's women like her. It could be a man. Men do HR work. It seems to be mostly women, in my opinion. It always seems to be a woman, some, pseudo, like this. It's always this chick. I swear to God, Grok knew exactly who I was talking about. This fucking smug cunt in a pantsuit. She got her shirt buttoned down so you could kind of look down her shirt. She's trying to be all hot, but she's just a bitch, and she's just there to railroad you. She's not there to do any. She's not finding the best people to come work at this company. If she has anything to do with it, she don't know how to fill these jobs. This is why your network is the most important thing. This is why you're going to get a better result if you can network through the people and use that to your advantage. I'm not doing that as much as I should, probably because I would say there's like 6 different reasons right now. Part of it is I'm so busy and the time's going by so fast, and another day of my life just came and went, and I'm like, at least I got a book published today. That's something. I got something done today. I'm going to have books in my hand. I can hold them up and show them to you guys. I can give them out to people and stuff. So that felt really good. But there is a little bit of, I still feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm a worthless sack of shit because of the whole prison thing and whatnot. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's not like I feel great about myself every day, but I can get over that. It's not like I don't live in that space, but there's parts of me that I do have, like, fear of whatever, like, just, I don't chase after my dreams as much as I used to, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's just, or I have that preconceived, they would never give me the time of day, so why bother? So I got to get, I've got my own issues there. But, HR, they're not going to do anything for me. I'm not getting along with HR. HR will post a job lead saying they're looking for an intern. And then in the job description, it'll say you must have 7 years of experience. Well, how the fuck does 7 years of experience in your line of work qualify you to be a fucking unpaid intern? Like, I've seen these job posts and I laugh. Or in my line of work, being a graphic designer, artist, whatever, I could call myself 50 different things, to be honest. Sometimes they'll ask you to do an art test. I call it the art test job interview process. They'll give you like a sample project, and then they expect you to bust your ass for 2 or 3 days doing work for them for free, to prove yourself, to prove that you can do the job, to show them a sample of your talent. Well, that's what my fucking portfolio is for. Go look at my portfolio. These are all the things I've done. Therefore, I can do that because I've done it before. Here's 20 fucking examples. I'm not going to do free work for you. So if that's a problem, then, we part ways. I got time for that shit. don't ever like that. That's one thing. I mean, in my line of work, this is kind of, I wouldn't say it's common, but it definitely happens. It's happened to me numerous times, but it's not like, I'd say like if I started to talk, I'd say out of every 20 companies I've ever talked to about maybe working for, it might pop up once, maybe twice in a span like that. But it does happen. Everybody who does what I do for a living, the creative business, this happens. Sometimes if you're a programmer, they'll give you a code test. Sometimes those are reasonable. They're just feeling you out to make sure you actually know what you're doing, and they'll ask you some basic questions. And you can really feel someone out within like 5 minutes without being ridiculous on that. Sometimes a company will expect you to, you know, go to a whiteboard and write all the code to build an online banking application out of your head, writing JavaScript on a whiteboard. And it's like, bitch, that's not how we do it. I don't sit in front of a fucking whiteboard when I'm writing code. I sit in front of a MacBook with a code editor open and the internet in front of me. And yes, I might look up something that I don't know from time to time. We all do. Nobody knows everything. That's like a lawyer saying they know the law. Bullshit. The law is, the United States Code is 68,000 pages, 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. 68,000 sheets of paper is a stack of paper over 25 feet tall. You don't know the fucking law. Just shut the fuck up. The judges don't know. The politicians don't know. The lawyers don't know. Nobody knows what the law is because it's 68,000 pages long. And that's just the federal code. That's not the state of Texas. That's not the city of Houston. That's not your neighborhood. That's not fucking Karen and the assholes with your HOA contract in your fucking shitty ass suburban neighborhood. Like that, there's so many fucking laws. Nobody knows what the law is. That's that. So when they give you a code test at this, nobody knows JavaScript that good. Nobody knows everything. We were talking about WordPress. I think this was the members only stream. A WordPress website. I'm on a tangent here, but okay. Say you build a 5 to 10 page website with straight HTML, CSS code, and some images and stuff. You might have a website that's like maybe 5 megabytes in size, and most of that's going to be the image files. The graphics files will take up most of that room. The 5 to 10 HTML files that are just code, that's probably like 10 kilobytes. A basic WordPress install is around 25 to 30 megabytes in code. And that's mostly code. There's only a couple of images in that whole stack. Okay. And that's PHP, JavaScript. It's a bunch of crap all bundled up together. To make that same 10-page website in WordPress, the King James Bible as a text file, if you took all the text from the King James Bible and saved it as a .txt plain text file, is about 4 to 5 megabytes. Let's call it 5 megabytes. Let's say that WordPress is 30 megabytes divided by 5. That is a basic WordPress installation right out of the box. That's before you've done anything to it. Right out of the box, that is the code. The code is 6 King James Bibles of code. If you printed it out on paper, it would be the size of 6 King James Bibles. And that's right out of the box. Now, most WordPress websites, before you're even done with it, you've installed themes, you've put in plugins, you've done all kinds of stuff to it. So it typically ends up being about 300 megabytes for a basic WordPress website. Now, 300 megabytes, you've got this plugin, that plugin, you've got the theme, you've got other things going on, this, that, and the other thing. 300 megabytes worth of code. That's pretty much 99% code at this point. That, if you printed that out, the amount of code, that is 60 King James Bibles worth of code. Do you have time to read the Bible 60 times? If there were 60 of them, if the Bible was a set of books and there were fucking 60 of them and each one was as big as the Bible, would you know what's in that shit? No, you wouldn't. The fucking church wouldn't know, the pastor wouldn't know, the priest wouldn't know, the deacons wouldn't know. Rain Man wouldn't fucking know. Rain Man could memorize a phone book, he wouldn't be able to memorize that shit. 60 King James Bibles worth of code for a basic WordPress website. So then when somebody throws you under the bus at the job interview because you don't know exactly what PHP file to edit for this specific plugin to do this specific thing without having to go and look that shit up on Google or to do some research, fuck you. Nobody knows. Nobody fucking WordPress don't even know what the fuck is in WordPress anymore. That's the point. 60 King James Bibles worth of shit all cobbled together. Nobody even knows. Nobody knows how that shit works. Somehow it fucking works. And nobody knows. Nobody, not one fucking person on this earth would know what the fuck is going on under the hood there. But if you know some basic shit and you have a problem and you know how to find your way through the, if you know how to debug and you know how to do certain things, you can kind of trace your way through and you can pinpoint the source of a problem and you can deal with it and you can modify things and you can, with a WordPress site, you can get under the hood and dig into the code and you can fiddle around with it and you can fix things when they break. But to say that you know it all, to say that you're a full expert and you just know exactly where that line of code is when it's 60 fucking King James Bibles long, no, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But HR expects you to know. That's the point. Some of these companies, in the hiring process, they'll be like, well, you don't know what the status.php file and the plugin associated with this, with the anti-spam feature of that plugin, you don't understand what line 63 of that PHP file does? No, bitch. I didn't have time to read 60 King James Bibles before this shitty job interview today. Sorry, dog. How about, if you got a problem, we can probably fix it. There's tools and there's ways to do that. There's ways to write our own code on top of the shitty code that's already there to patch something that's not right or to make something work different. I mean, we can do that. It does require a little bit of knowledge, but you don't have to be an expert on every single thing in that package because it's 60 King James Bibles. Imagine a bookshelf at your house and imagine going to church. Go to church. Go see a bookshelf at your church that they have 60 Bibles, 10 Bibles in 6 shelves. That's how much code for a basic 10-page website you would have to have if you build it with WordPress instead of just writing code with HTML and CSS and JavaScript by hand. And there are reasons why it makes sense to do that, believe it or not, but nobody knows. It's a fucking mystery. Nobody knows how that shit. No, take your fucking cell phone. Do you think there's anybody out there who actually knows how this fucking thing works? No. Nobody knows how this fucking shit works. Nobody. People know different parts of it. How many lines of code are inside this phone right now with all the different apps? And if a 10-page WordPress site is 60 Bibles, imagine how many fucking Bibles of code are inside this phone. How many Bibles? We were talking about the Ford F-150 pickup truck has 150 million lines of code. We were looking up different vehicles, different modern vehicles, but right now the Ford F-150 has 150 million lines of code, which turned into I forget how many Bibles it was. It was like thousands of Bibles. Do you think anybody at Ford knows what the fuck's going on in the truck anymore? No, nobody knows. Nobody knows what 150 million lines of code are doing. It's all cobbled together from a bunch of fucking people, half of them from India, don't even speak English. It's all just a bunch of shit stuck together. Somehow it fucking works and you didn't die when you drove your truck. Somehow you didn't die. truck didn't burn up into a ball of fire and burn your whole family alive yet. But nobody knows what's in that fucking code. It's like Nancy Pelosi when they pass a law. She said when they were about to pass Obamacare, what did she say? Her famous quote was, let me put the bottle down. We gotta pass this law so we can find out what's in it. Bitch, so we can find out what's in it. It's your fucking job. You're Congresswoman. You're supposed to know what the fuck's in it before you pass it. Stupid fucking bitch. Wouldn't you want to know what's in it so that you know what fucking stocks to buy next month before it goes into law? You and your husband go into Congress. She's not worth a damn penny, making $174,000 a year, and now she's worth $400 million because of all her insider stock trading. You might want to know what the fuck is in it. Just for that reason alone, not that you might want to do something good for the people and actually read the fucking laws that you pass, but the law might be the bill that they pass into law might be 7,000 pages long. Ain't nobody got time for that. I wouldn't. Like, fuck it. I wouldn't. If I was in Congress, I would just say no. I would say no to every fucking bill because I'm like, you're either going to give me time to read the 7,000 page bill you just handed me to vote on, or you can go choke on a dick because I'm not voting for something I don't know what's in it. So shorten this motherfucker. Give me the Cliff Notes. Let's make it a readable bill, or fuck off. I'm not voting for it. I'm saying no to every guy. I would say Ron Paul did that. That's why I love the guy. He's from Galveston here in Texas. I could go say hi to him one of these days, probably. Could go meet up with him. I've already met him a few times. He's a cool dude. But I mean, I didn't get to like hang out with him, but I've met him. I've got pictures to prove it. I got street cred. Me and Ron Paul go way back. But anyway, he would say no to pretty much every bill that they were trying to vote into law because he'd be like, it's too fucking big. I can't read all this. Can't read these 90,000 pages for this fucking farm bill that they put a bunch of random shit in that I don't even know because it's a stack of paper this fucking big and they want me to vote on it tomorrow. So no, I'm gonna vote no. That's me. That's what I would do. Vote for me. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be the ultimate fuck you back to the establishment to run for Congress and win after going to prison for a Twitter post? And now I'm in the Fed. Now I am a Congress. And believe me, I'm going to do all the shit that the Congress people do. I'm not going to rape kids. That's not my jam. But you might, I don't know. I mean, if I'm in Congress and that's what, is going around, not the children, but you might see a video of me snorting some blow off a hooker's tit. You don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm being honest. Donald Trump said he walked around grabbing girls by the pussy and, look where it got him. He's the president now. Fuck it. Be honest. I'm not going to Epstein Island, but I'd probably have a 19, 20-year-old girlfriend. Fuck, man. Why not? You only live once. I'd be doing better than Christy Nome. I wouldn't be some chick with a cross-dressing husband walking around with big fake titties and wearing a dress around the mansion when she's at work, cheating on him. But fuck, man, whatever. I can't say that I would be the good guy in Congress, but I certainly wouldn't vote I would stand up for the people when it comes to my vote. There ain't nothing they could shoot me in the neck like they did Charlie Kirk. I have no fucks to give anymore about any of it. I'm not gonna send your kids to Israel to die for Israel. I'll tell you that, or Iran, or wherever the fuck they're gonna go next. I just went like on a whole. We got to go back to HR here. We're talking about human resources. I don't know how I got I'm running for office. I'm gonna blow off a hooker's tit for my fucking campaign commercial when I run for Congress. I probably win. If my campaign commercial was snort and blow off a hooker's boob, I'd say there's a 50-50 chance that I win the election for that, because everything is so backwards and whack now. I think that would be, maybe you go all in. I get out of a limo, back of the limo, with a fucking fur coat and a cane and a big top hat, looking like Kid Rock showing up to a concert, you know? Like, shit, man. A bunch of prostitutes in thongs surrounding me. Here to get my law on. Like, what? Man, I'd probably win. I'd probably win. Look at Donald Trump. It worked for him. So anyway, let's go back to HR, because I'm just going down a dark path. I definitely don't want anything to do with the government. I certainly don't want to go being surrounded by those people as my job. But if I did get voted to Congress, I'd only have to work like 50 days a year, and I'd be making 174K. And that's without the bribe money and the book deals and all the shit that, you know, all the extra money that you get, the insider trading and all that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm still young. I could do it. I'm still young. Look at that fucking guy. Look at what's his name? Oh my god, the turtle guy. Mitch McConnell, that motherfucker. It's like all these Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi. She can barely stand on her own 2 feet, but she's drunk all the time. But all these fucking old crippled ass motherfuckers, like in their, like they Mitch McConnell wouldn't even be able to handle being in a nursing home at this point. He needs to be like in bed on a hospice bed at this point. And he's still in the Senate. Who the fuck is running him? Who's controlling that puppet? Because he ain't making decisions. He doesn't even make the decision about when he poops his pants. It just comes out. He doesn't even make that decision anymore, let alone voting on laws and shit like that in the halls of the Congress or the Senate. Fuck, man. All these people have a handler. These fucking ancient. How? But, you know, I want to say, like, how do the people keep voting for him? But the answer to that is because the election's rigged. Your vote doesn't count. And we all know that. So that's why the 90-year-old guy who poops his pants and can't talk and just stares into space when the fucking camera's pointed at him and freezes like someone hit the pause button. That's because you don't have a say in the election. All these people who are like, they can walk around with their "I voted" sticker. Yeah, you did. Good job, buddy. You did a great job today. You did a good thing for your country today. Fucking idiot. He thought, oh, I had a say. You didn't. Just go home, you fucking idiot. So anyway, can I go back to HR? How did I get from HR to this? There's no bridge to go back. I'm just going to have to cut it. So human resources, back to her, back to this chick right here. It's terrible. We were talking about the art test and having to do like work for free so that they can see if you can do the job, but you have a portfolio and credentials and a resume that shows your work history and, you know, a million other things that show that you can do the job. But now they're like doing all kinds of weird shit, like using AI and all this other nonsense to make you jump through even more hoops. They'll ask you a question. The HR bitch will ask you a question. Have you ever seen this on a job application? May we contact your current employer? What the fuck kind of question is that? Who would say yes to that question? But it's a lose-lose situation. And I see this all the time on job applications. May we contact your current employer? Why? Okay, if you say yes to that and they contact your current employer and then they don't hire you, your current employer now knows that you're looking for a new job and you don't like working here anymore. You think that's going to work out good for you? But if you say no, you cannot contact my current employer, now that bitch from HR is going to be like, oh, well, what are you trying to hide? Well, bitch, I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm trying to come get a job with you from the stupid HR bitch at the job I work at now. Because what would you do, you dumb motherfucker, if your employee was having people contact you while they are looking for another job? Would they be working here much longer? Probably not, would they? No. So why are you asking me if you can contact my current employer? The answer is fuck no. What am I trying to hide? Well, let me see. I found one of these, but I'm not hiding it anymore. That's what you tell her. I found it. Not hiding it. I mean, it was in my pocket, but let me put it back and save it for the next time you ask me a dumb question. Who's going to say yes to that question? I don't, they'll ask you, have you ever been terminated by a former employer? None of your, first of all, none of your fucking business. And, or I'm just going to be like, no, go ahead and fucking find out for yourself. You mean the time I was fired from my job, my work from home remote job, because I wouldn't take a COVID vaccine? But then, I did get mad enough that I showed up to the all hands company meeting with 150 people in the Zoom meeting and told them all to go choke on a dick. But I was already fired when I did that. So I had, I didn't get fired for telling everybody to go choke on a dick. I got fired for not taking the shot, but I had some time left. They didn't send me home that day. They gave me like 2 more weeks to work there and collect a paycheck. So I figure, why the fuck not? If I need to be honest about why I got fired, the reason's not going to be because I showed up to the all company meeting and told 150 people on the Zoom meeting to go eat a dick. It's going to be because I didn't take the shot. It's not a lie. I was already fired. Why not? Let it rip. What have I got to lose? Obviously, I've already lost the job. At this point, fuck it. Have you ever been terminated by a former employer? I mean, I'm not going to say yeah. I'm just going to say no. And I got one. Oh my God, I got so much. There's no fucking way I could even, I would say I'm like halfway through my notes, homie. My people. I'm like it's 2:30. We're 2 hours and 32 minutes in. And I'm like halfway through I did go on a little tangent about running for Congress, but oh my God, there's so much. There is so much good stuff. Okay, I got another one. HR, they can't find the employee that they can't find a good match for the job because they don't know shit about the requirements for the job and how to find the best people to do that job. Their job is to find idiots, to find people who will drink the company Kool-Aid and do what they're told and push the buttons and not talk back and, not go look for another job and stay at the place for 20 years, even though they don't get a raise and they could double their salary by job hopping, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I worked at this one place, a large grocery store chain, in their corporate headquarters, my office in quotes. It used to be a janitor's closet, but it became an office. They started doing, now I was already working there, but we all got an email saying that from now on, any new hire, whether you're a grocery store bagger or a cashier or a stock boy, or you're looking to be, chief marketing officer for the company, it doesn't matter what job you're applying for. They have a pre-employment survey now. And I looked for screenshots. I used to have screenshots of this. I know I have them somewhere in my collection of random stuff. I looked through my Evernote file today, but I didn't find it. I did start using Evernote when I was working for that company, so I'm surprised, but maybe I'm just not searching for the right thing, but I can talk about it. So it was basically a personality test. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I had to do one of these for my probation officer recently, and it's like, do you want to go out and rob people today? And there's like, strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree. Sometimes I feel like going out and committing crimes. Oh yeah, like I'm supposed like, oh strongly agree. Like, of course you're supposed to say strongly disagree. It's like, only a fucking retard would get these questions wrong. I sometimes solve my problems and drown my sorrows in crystal meth. Strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree. Maybe I'll pick the middle one this time. Well, sometimes it works, but it's not what I don't like meth all the time. But it is I was in prison with people who are retarded enough to fail that test. So anyway, it's one of these tests, and it's like the most, it's basic shit. Um, it's questions like, let me think of one, like, okay, your kid has a play at school, but you're on the schedule for that same night. Do you call off from work and go to your kid's play? Or do you say, fuck that kid and show up to work? You know what I mean? It's like those kind of questions. And you know how you're supposed to answer. You're supposed to say, yeah, fuck my kids. My job's more important. Of course, I'll never call in sick. I'm going to go to my job because I'm a good boy who's a dedicated employee, blah, blah, blah. It's all those questions. Like there will literally be like 10 questions that says sometimes it's okay to steal from the company as long as the thing that you're stealing is small. For real, somebody's going to answer that like, yeah, that's totally fine to steal as long as the thing that you're stealing is small. I mean, of course it's okay to steal from the company as long as the thing is small, but you're not supposed to fucking say that on the damn test when you're trying to get a job there. Everybody knows this. It's not that fucking hard to figure these out. So, we all got this email, right? About they're going to do this personality test. This is good. This is the new thing. They were promoting this like it's going to change the company. We're only going to get the best and the brightest people in here because of this personality test. Doesn't fucking matter whether they're good at their job or have the skills or, have good work, have an impressive resume or whatever the fuck, they can write all the code or whatever, No, we're going to judge them based on whether they know the answer to that question. Is it okay to steal sometimes? And is it okay to call in sick from work when you want to go to the beach? Like, strongly agree, strongly disagree. Of course, come on. Are you that fucking dumb? Like, who are they weeding out with that retarded shit show? Like, nobody. But then again, I do go out in public sometimes and I see the people out there and I talk to them sometimes and I'm like, I bet people do fail this test. I guarantee. I was in prison with people who would fail that fucking test. So we all had a link in this email. The best part about it was we got a link and we could go take the test ourselves. But it was anonymous. It was a sample test. You didn't have to put your email address in or anything like that. And I could use incognito. I made sure that it wasn't like gonna trace back to me. Believe me, I'm not that stupid. So I went and I took the test. And the first time I took the test, useless human resources shit. First time I took the test, I answered every question honestly. And I'm not talking about the dumb shit like, is it okay to steal sometimes? I said, no, it's not okay to steal, even if the thing is small. But I did say, like, okay, yeah, if my kid had to go to a play at school and I'm scheduled for that night, sure, I'd call in sick. I mean, I said some honest shit. I wasn't like totally honest because, I mean, if I was brutally honest as I am when I'm on video on YouTube, but I answered the questions honestly where it made sense to be honest. And what happens when you're done? I got to see the behind the scenes of what human resources sees after the fact, right? So I answered all these questions honestly. And then at the end of it, what human resources sees is this chart, and it's got a bunch of words on the left and a bunch of words along the top, and it's a graph, and each square of the graph has a color. So there's like, some sort of personality here. You go over and it matches up with something here, and then there's a color, and it's green, red, or yellow. Each box on this chart is green, red, or yellow. And so the premise is from here, if you go and take this personality test for a job with them, you have to get all green. Everything has to be green. If there's one yellow box on this whole chart, one yellow box will mean that you're to the back of the line, and they're not allowed to have you come in to do a job interview until all the candidates that got full green are interviewed and vetted. So if 100 people got all green and you got a one yellow box out of there's like 150 boxes on this thing. One yellow box means that you can't get an interview until these 100 people are all gone through and they got no new green ones coming in. So you basically didn't get the job. One red box, one out of 150. There's I don't know how many. There's 15 going down the left and 20 over the top. There's a lot of fucking boxes on this thing. One red box means that you go into a database. You're not coming in for a job interview, and you're put in a database that says we can never hire that person ever for any job ever, and any resume or job application that they receive from them goes straight to the trash. They're completely banned and disbarred and disqualified from ever having a job at the company just for one red box. One red box on this 150 boxes. If one of them's red, you're completely disqualified and can never work at the company. It'd be like having 14 felony counts of going to prison for 2 years. So it's the same fucking thing. One red box from this personality test. This is the dumb shit they're doing behind the scenes. And this was 2014, people. This was 12 years ago when I was looking at this. So when I answered all the questions honestly, let me tell you, that was fucking wild, because the whole chart at the end of it was nothing but yellow and red with maybe 5 to 10 green boxes. But it was like a whole band of yellow going across and a whole swatch of, it looked like a landscape. It looked like sand art. It looked like one of them bottles with all the sand in it, making the fucking patterns and stuff. And it was just big red wave going through and a yellow band and a couple of green things scattered in there here and there. But it was big red wave, just whoosh going across the whole fucking thing. And that was because I answered some questions honestly, because I was like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And so I could take it again. See, the thing is, it was just a link. It was just a sample. It wasn't like you only get one and done. So I went back and I took the thing again, except for every single question I asked myself, how would an obedient slave on a southern plantation answer the massa when he's getting whipped, and ask this question? Yes, the massa. Yes, sir, right away, massa. Yes, no. Oh, no, I would not go to my kids' play at school, massa. No, no, sir. No, sir. Oh, I's a work 12 hours a day. I's a work 12 hours a day, 9 days a week. if that's what you put me on the schedule for. I work 15 days a week, massa. I don't need to sleep. I don't need to sleep at all. And I mean, so that's how I answered every fucking question on this survey, as if somebody was standing behind me with a whip, gonna crack me in the back, make me look like the dude from that movie Roots if I got a question wrong. And when I got the results back and I could see what HR sees, the whole fucking thing was green. Green as the fucking grass on the Windows 98 screensaver when you got your fucking computer open for the first time. Just fields and fields and fields of green. Green, green, green. Not one yellow box on the whole fucking thing. It was just solid green. So basically, they're looking for slaves. They're looking for stupid fucking people who can act like a slave, do what they're told, not question back, work 15 hours a day, 8 to 9 days a week if that's what they're told to do. Like, no, don't question authority, don't job hop, don't ever be late, don't ever do anything wrong, don't make a mistake, just everything. Soon as I changed the premise of how I'm answering the questions, I went from like a big red, not one red box that would disqualify me. It was like a fucking tsunami of red going across the whole fucking thing. It was like Thailand when the fucking tsunami came through and wiped the whole fucking thing out. It looked like that. And no way. One red box will get you disqualified. Well, how about 75 red boxes going across in a wave? What does that get me? But when I did it the other way, all green, all green. So it's like, how to answer these questions on these stupid surveys. Who are you fooling here? Like, is it just a test to see if I can figure out what a bunch of douchebags you are? Because that's basically what it is. It's like, oh, you're a bunch of fucking scumbags, so you're going to want to see me say that one. Oh, you're going to try and make me work 12 hours a day, 9 days a week. Okay, I'll pick that one. And you know which one to pick if you want to win, but it doesn't mean you're being honest, and they should know that. You think that does that HR bimbo think that she's like changing the fucking culture of the company and we're only going to get the best of the best because people know how to game a fucking survey like that? The same fucking survey that they handed me when I got out of prison that says, do you want to do crime? Yes or no? Sometimes. Sometimes I do crime. What the fuck, man? So that was pretty wild to see that from the back, to see it from what HR sees. And I'm like, what's the fucking point of this? And no, they're not hiring the best people at this company because the best people don't want to work for a shithole like that. And unfortunately, fortunately for them, the best people will have options. They aren't going to come and work for you if that's what you're going to do to them right off the fucking bat. So, and I got one that's even more. If you thought that was wild, fuck. Wait, I got a screenshot for this one. I'm just trying to figure out how to. Here we go. Copy image address. I got to pull it up in a web. This shit's fucking nuts. I found this one. Boom. All right. So I was worried. Okay. Performance reviews. We talked last week about, oh my God, I got like 10 minutes. This is crazy. I'm not even. I could redo this. I could redo the same. I can reuse this topic again. I can just copy my notes from where we end up to the end of my note file. I can make a whole nother live stream on this topic. I might skip. We might do something different next week. We've got a lot of different topics to pick from that I've already like gathered material for. But I am going to have to cut it off in about 10-ish minutes. So I think this is the last story for story time today. But oh my God, there's more. Well, I know where to end it. Whatever it takes, I know where to call it quits. And it's the perfect ending for today's stream, to be honest. But all right. So, oh my God, there's like 3 stories here. This company I worked for, okay, performance reviews. We talked about how the performance review is just theater, that they already decided at the beginning of the year what raises they're going to get, pretty much who's going to get them, et cetera, et cetera. And the performance review is just some bullshit theater where they've already kind of decided. And they decided at the beginning of the year what your performance review is going to be, but they're calling you in at the end of the year to tell you what it was. But, like it didn't matter what you actually did all year. It's just a game. And it's like if you're one of the 2% raises, then you got a 3-star review, and they're just gonna make up some bullshit about what you did and didn't do. If you got a bigger raise, it's because if you're a woman, you might have got a raise because you're banging the CTO or whatever. They're different. The reason why you get a raise doesn't really have much to do with your performance. We talked about this in depth last week. Go watch the video if you need to. I don't need to beat that dead horse anymore. But this one was fucking insulting. This company I was working for decided to use this app, and I've got a screenshot I'm about to show you. Instead, they decided that they no longer wanted to do performance reviews, but they were going to be a hip new way of doing things where we get to do a performance review of each other. And so how do they do that, might you ask? Well, you know that there's an app out there. This would make sense. Hold on. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So we know that like there's dating apps out there. One of them might be called Tinder, where the whole dating app game is just turned into, well, you like the dude or you like the girl, you swipe to the right. You don't like the girl, you don't want to meet her, you swipe to the left. Left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, right. And it just makes it very convenient to meet chicks, to meet dudes for Tinder, and go out on a date because you both swiped right. Well, this company thought, why not bring that to the company employee performance reviews? So here's the screenshot. They actually fucking made us all sign up on this app where once a week, every fucking Friday, you would get an email and you would have to go to this fucking corporate Tinder app. Tinder. I'm not fucking kidding. It was a Tinder app for work. And each employee would show up on this fucking thing and it would ask you a question about the employee. And this screenshot, it says, when others talk to Joey Pardella, he pays attention and does not do other things on the side. Yes, you swipe right. No, you swipe to the left. And it goes through the whole fucking company and everybody you work for, and you got to treat them like a fucking Tinder app. Swipe right if you like the person, swipe left if you don't. Well, I was like, you know what? Fuck these people. Left, 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 left. I swiped left for every fucking person there every week. You're going to turn my fucking employee performance review into fucking Tinder for work? Corporate Tinder? Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker. But this was some real shit. They turned, and this is what they were going to base your fucking performance review on. Whether everybody you work with likes you and swipe to the right, or whether nobody likes you at work and everybody swipes to the left. Imagine that. Imagine what imagine getting the fucking email that showed you everybody swiped to the left and nobody likes you anymore. Imagine the validation, like maybe the hot chicks, it could be a company full of simps and a hot chick with big tits. We just read that on LinkedIn, big boobs are actually soft skills, right? So what if the girl with the soft skills and the big boobs, the hottie, is surrounded by a company of fucking simps who would probably pay to see her OnlyFans page if she put one up? They're all swiping to the right, so the girl with the big tits got the best score on the company Tinder app. Imagine that. Now, what about the guy from Office Space with the fucking stapler? You know what I'm talking about? I remember him. Um, remember this? Where the fuck is he? Here we go. I could have been a little more prepared, but I'm just making it up as I go. What about this guy? Even if this guy did a good job for the company, how many people are going to swipe right for the fucking weird stapler guy from Office Space on the company Tinder app? You think he's going to get any right swipes? No, man, they're sending this motherfucker to the basement first, like within 2 weeks after company Tinder comes out. And so, yeah, what a fucking insult, right? That they turned, instead of doing a fucking performance review where you sit down with your boss like a grown up, like a fucking human being, like a person. No, you're just a fucking piece of, remember when I told you, you're just a piece of shit human resource. You're not an actual person anymore. Imagine sitting in the fucking chief mark, the whatever your fucking boss is, looking at the results graph from the company Tinder app, saying, well, obviously people aren't very happy with you here, stapler guy. Like, what the fuck, dude? People were not happy about this. People were not happy about this at all. Some of us talked openly about it. You know, imagine do you think I really had an easy time keeping my mouth shut about that? But I did work from home for that company, so I only had to come into the office, like I would come into the office like once a week, maybe less, sometimes more. So I didn't really have to, like, I could detach from this kind of nonsense because I didn't have to be surrounded by these people. I'm in my home office just doing my thing, have my music on, like show up to the fucking Zoom meetings, get my work done, call it a day. All this drama and retarded ass shit show. That's, you know, fuck them. They can have their Tinder match down at work. I'm not, you know, whatever. Anytime that shit would pop up for me, left, 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 left. Oh, you're cool. Left, left, left. Yeah, you're cool too. Left, left. But then, you know, I would swipe right for the people I liked. But that's what it was. Oh, I hate her. Fuck that bitch. Left, left. Oh, my boss, he pissed me off today. Left. Oh, that CEO is fucking nuts. Left. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I did swipe right here and there, but it would only be, yeah, she's cool. Right. You know, anybody I got along with, who I was like friendly with and friends with, you know, work buddies with, you know, they got a right swipe. I was careful. I mean, I didn't throw everybody under the bus, but oh man, this one dude I couldn't stand. Fuck man, left, 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 left. I couldn't throw him in the trash fast enough. I didn't read the question about whether, oh, when others talk to Joey, does he pay attention? And left. I don't give a fuck about Joey. Fuck him. He's the stapler guy, the weird guy in the back with the stapler, and put him in the basement, send him home. Fuck him. I'm not reading this. Left, left, left. But then it would actually call you out. Like they were tracking how many times you would swipe left on people and shit like that. And that would count against you because there's an interface that HR gets to look at. So they're showing everybody like how, oh, everybody hates Adam, the stapler guy and the fucking weirdo in the cubicle who didn't get a piece of cake and all that. And the girl with the big tits, everybody loves her. She's got soft skills, according to LinkedIn. And but you can also look at how everybody votes. So if like they could see that I'm just like left, 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 left. Oh, you're cool. Left, 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 left. And they're timing it. So like they can see how fast you, like if you're just like left, 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 you're cool. Left, 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 left. They're seeing that. And it's actually like counting against you and making you into a bigger piece of shit than you already were when everybody swiped left on you. And this is your performance review. This is your fucking income. Your fucking 2% raise is now based on how good you do on the company Tinder app. Like, oh my God, man. If they dropped a company Tinder app at the fucking bakery I work at, oh my God, do you think that would go over well with a bunch of teenage girls? Holy shit. I could see them doing it though. I could see them doing it. That would be some wild, that would be fucking, I hope they do it. I really, oh my God, that would be so wild. That would be a fun day to be at that bakery listening to all these teenage girls freaking out about the company Tinder app. But that's what this company did. A bunch of fucking grown-ups. It was in the healthcare data analytics space. Like, this is a bunch of fucking scientists and data scientists and high-end fucking developers and programmers and marketing people and grown-ups. I mean, there weren't even that many 20-year-olds working there, 20-something-year-olds. I was like 38. I don't know. What the fuck was I? What was that, 2015? Let me think here. 80, 90. I was like 40 years old and one of the young people. I was one of the younger people. All the programmers were in their like mid 20s. I was like the user experience designer and I was like 40 and I was one of the younger ones. I was surrounded by people older than me. And this is, they're doing company fucking Tinder for your, do company Tinder. A bunch of fucking people that are like 40 to 60 years old with experience and senior and like high level people who are smart and have like real big boy careers and shit like that. We're doing company Tinder. Company Tinder. Like, holy fuck, man. I'm telling you, man, do I have the best work stories or do I have the best work stories? I told you I'm not even halfway through my notes and we're 3 hours in. We're 3 hours in. Company Tinder is like the halfway. That's the halfway mark today, people. And believe me, if I bring up this topic, if I put the thumbnail image back in my stack and just decide to copy all my notes that I didn't do today, put it in a new file and bring it back like a month from now and say, remember that? And like where you can pick up. So yeah, Blue Sky, you were right. I can't do this in 3 hours when I still got like two things to say. I've talked about this story, but so the story with company Tinder, just, share the screen again while I talk about it. So there's a website out there called glassdoor.com. Let's take a look here. I'm not going to bring the company's thing up here. In fact, I don't even know if I can log in. I don't even have. No, fuck no. I'm not even signing up. That's a fucking mess. All right. Glassdoor.com. It's a place that you can go and you can read companies that you might want to look for. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a job. It's really good when you want to look into a smaller company. Now, if you're looking like, okay, you go and you type in PNC Bank. Well, PNC Bank has 80,000 employees. They're a nationwide bank. They're all over the place. That's like Chase, Bank of America. I'm on the bank kick, right? But they're all over the country. There's 100,000 employees, etc. There's going to be some bad reviews. There's going to be some good reviews. You're not going to be able to sift through it and figure out a whole lot. You're not going to be able to base your decision about a user experience design gig in a bank headquarters because a bunch of bank tellers that work in a branch office were mad about their job. So that it's kind of, but if you're going to work for a startup and there's like 20 people working there, and there's like 15 bad reviews, that is a gold mine of knowledge for you. Okay. Now, company Tinder was put out there by a startup. The company was very small when I started with them. And so I don't know, man. I don't even know if they had 30 people by the time I left. So, company Tinder company got some bad reviews on Glassdoor, but they were small. So, I thought it was funny. Every single review on Glassdoor put them on blast. It was every single review was bad. And I didn't even hate this job that much. I worked with some pretty good people. It was a pretty laid back gig. I really didn't hate it, but there were some things going on that were obviously like company Tinder pissed me off. And I wasn't the only one who was mad about company Tinder. But things were starting to go downhill. There was a lot of, sometimes you work at a startup and it starts out great, but then a lot of drama comes in and a lot of like any job. A job can start out really great and then over time it can just it can go downhill. Things can change, things can turn for the worst. And it was starting to happen there. And well, company Tinder was definitely a company Tinder was a company Tinder was a bad thing. That pissed a lot of people off. And so they did something to me that was pretty shitty. And I don't need to get into the details. The point of the story is I was like, you know what? Glass door, here I come, baby. And I dropped a bomb on that motherfucker. I dropped a glass door review. There was already like 5 reviews, all of them scathing, 1-star bad reviews. I came in and dropped a fucking bomb on them. Bomb. And I talked about the company Tinder and I talked about some other things. I said it was all true. Everything I said, every single fucking thing I said was true. And here's the thing. I'm like an AI bot. I used my language learning model in my head when I wrote the review, there was somebody at the company that I didn't like, but I know how their writing style. So when I dropped the review, I wrote it as if I was that person writing it. The words and the phrases that I used and the structure of my writing, you would read it and be like, did that person write it? And it was just to throw them off the trail, because if I wrote the damn thing like I'm talking to you right now, they'd be like, fuck, bring Adam into the fucking office. Make him come in today. We got to have a talk. Like they would know exactly who the fuck it was. So I had to be careful enough to throw them off the trail. So I threw some breadcrumbs. I was like, like a CIA spy would do to throw them off, to throw the KGB off my trail, send them in the wrong direction. While I zig, they go and zag, right? So I threw them off the trail. And I would say within like a week of that review going up on Glassdoor, I got an email. All company meeting. Everybody who works remote has to come in today. We're having a big powwow. Everybody at the company needs to be there. It's a big deal. Everybody's got to come in. And I'm like, what's going on? I knew it. I knew what was up. It's time for a fucking witch hunt. I get my pointy hat ready and everything. I'm ready, bitch. Let's do this. So I come in. Sure enough, all 30 of us, however many there were, we're all in the conference room. The CEO comes in, all the executives come in. Whoever was in charge of human resources comes in and gives a big speech about, we're very concerned about people who seem like they're unhappy with their job here and blah, blah, blah. And it starts out like that. And they talk about, we know about the bad reviews that we're getting on glassdoor.com. And we just want everybody here to know that I have an open door policy. And if you have something about this job that you don't like, we want to talk about it with you. We want you to know that you can come in and talk to us at any time. You can come in and talk to us at any time, and our door will always be open, and you can talk to us about anything. And so, like, we're all looking at each other, And we all know because everybody there read these reviews. And believe me, there were already 5 up there. It's a company of like 30 people. They already had 5. And I came in and was like, yeah, watch this. Bam! And I dropped a fucking bomb on it. I probably got screenshots. It might even still be there. I mean, it's been a long time, but I would wonder if I can go in and find it. I'll take a screenshot of it and share it again. Next time I tell the story. I put the motherfuckers on blast. It was the best one for sure. And I'll tell you why I know. I know this. I'm not just bragging, but I actually know this. And there's a reason for that. So anyway, this meeting goes on for like an hour. The CEO, the HR, all of them are giving a speech. Oh, and then they said they're like, we would like to have the opportunity that if anybody who posted those posts would like to come and talk to us, please come and see us after the meeting. Or, if you want to talk about it right now, we promise that we won't retaliate against you and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Bullshit. My bullshit meter was going like bullshit, 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 like straight up. No, oh yeah, we can go and have a chat. We can have a private chat with no judgment and no we're not gonna we won't retaliate against you in any way. Again, what the fuck do you think would have happened if I went down to HR and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that the bomb that was dropped on Glassdoor last weekend, the one that caused you to call everybody in for that meeting, and the one that you wanted to gather everybody together and do this little witch hunt today, that was me. And I'm not very happy about the company Tinder app, and I'm not very happy about some of the other things that are going on right here, obviously, which I outlined in great detail. So we don't need to, you have a list of my grievances already. But I just wanted to let since we're not judging here and since we're not retaliating here, dude, they would have already had me kicked off my fucking company laptop, and they would have already had the fucking chief fucking security officer or whatever escorting me to my desk to get my jacket, and they would have walked me out of the fucking building. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, we won't retaliate. It's a judgment free. We want to hear your grievances. We have an open door policy. The fuck you do. The company that put fucking company Tinder in front of everybody for your performance review is going to have an open door policy where you can come and talk to them about the things you don't like. Bull fucking shit. Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So the best part of this story, the reason why I know my review was the best one, I got fired from that job, but not for the Glassdoor review. It was already in the works. I knew the writing was on the wall probably. Well, it was like April. It was like Christmas the year before. And things were kind of whacked right before Christmas. I got a really my spidey sense was like tingling. And sure enough, in January, things got really crazy. And they wanted to throw me under the bus for some bullshit that really all I was doing was my job. And I was good at it. And that's what made them mad. And so I'm not kidding. If I told you the whole story, you'd be like, what the fuck? So anyway, it was a political thing. And so I turned around. They were going to kick me out silently, but I undercut them by doing, like I said, by doing a really good job on what they told me to do. And then I gave a company-wide presentation to the whole company, in a conference room of what I had spent the last 3 months of my life doing. And they were all just floored by how good it was and how well researched it was and how oh my God, Adam really I basically made that, if they would have sent me home and fired me after that, it would have made them look really bad because I basically walked into the room and showed them that I know what the fuck I'm doing. And if you would just listen for a change, people wouldn't be calling your app a broken down, half baked piece of shit. And I fucking slammed them. I slammed them hard by giving a presentation to the whole entire company and fucking here's what's up. And nobody could fire me after that because it would just, why the fuck did Adam just get fired? He just dropped all this fucking they were hemorrhaging people. People were leaving. It was kind of like a sinking ship situation. So like I knew exactly how to keep that job for a while longer. Do a good job. Like and like it's stupid that that's the politics I had to play. I wanted to do a good job anyway, so it wasn't like I was going, it wasn't like I was doing something I already wouldn't have done. But I just thought it was great that they thought that they were going to threaten me and get me out the door, and I was just going to cower and like just and not play the game. And I turned around and dropped this fucking thing that knocked everybody's socks off, and all the executives are like, we can't get rid of him now. So that was April. So they got rid of me in October. They had to take until October because they had to cool off they had to wait for a cool down period after the good work that I had done to like get buried with other shit and, and just kind of like disappear. And then they wouldn't let me do anything else. Like they kind of kept baby in the corner and wouldn't let her dance with Patrick Swayze anymore. So like, they just kept me hidden until I was hidden for long enough that they were like, okay, we can quietly just get him out of here now. But it took them until October to do it. And so it was during that period, that drama and political bullshit, that I dropped that Glassdoor review, and it blew up because they had 6 bad reviews now. And one of them was a fucking banger. Like straight up was going to go viral. It was so bad. And like I said, I was careful to use language that made it sound like somebody else wrote it. I think people suspected this person of writing it because that person left the company within like 3 to 4 weeks after that thing dropped. I think that person may have gotten cornered about it and asked straight up, did you write this? Which is fucking wild. Yeah, don't fuck with me. You're not gonna fucking win if you're gonna go against me in this in a situation like that. Because I got no fucks to give. I never will. So the reason why I know it was the best review. So this is from God. See, whenever I do this was the right thing to do, by the way. Is every time I told you last week, every time I do the wrong thing according to HR, I get rewarded for it if it was the right thing to do morally. Morally, it was the right thing to do. Are you telling me it's not morally correct to put a company on blast who just put a fucking Tinder app in front of my face and told me to rate all my employees like we're on Tinder now? No, that was the right thing to do from a moral standpoint. That was the right thing to do. And I did it. And I was glad to do it. Very glad. Believe me, I was happy about that. So, like the company I just told you, company I worked for, I decided not to give them 2-week notice because they didn't deserve a 2-week notice. And I planned on just walking in and quitting on my last day. A week before that day, they called me into my boss's office and laid me off and gave me a $10,000 check as severance pay. If I had done the right thing and put in a 2-week notice, they would have been like, oh, now we don't got to pay that severance check to him. And they wouldn't have. I wouldn't have seen $1 of that. But because I did the wrong thing, I got a reward from heaven. Jesus was like, thank you for doing the right thing. Here's your $10,000 check. Don't spend it all in one place. I got a MacBook. I spent it wisely. I spent it on computer equipment and stuff that I needed and paid some bills and got a MacBook and, some things that I actually needed to do. But it was a reward. I got a reward for doing the right thing, which was HR would tell you it's the wrong thing, but Jesus gave me a reward because according to him, it was the right thing. So it was, you want to know how I know that it was the right thing to do to put this company on blast when they came up with company Tinder and all the other crap that they had done to me. I was like, all right, that's the last. Company Tinder was the last straw. Like that was the one that sent me over the edge to finally put them on blast. They fired me in October. I started a new job on January 2nd. So it was like October, let's say October 17th. I don't know why that date's in my head, but I bet that's the last day. So from October 17th to January 2nd, I didn't have a job, but I found a job. It was like the end of October, but it wasn't going to start till January 2nd. So I was on vacation more or less. A little bit of severance pay, nothing crazy. Enough. I was on unemployment. I got a little bit of severance, and I just kind of I already had a job lined up. I just had to wait it out. So I got to like chill. Christmas kind of sucked because I didn't have any money for like, I didn't have any money to do anything good. So, I got my kids, well, something, but nothing good. But January 2nd came around. Day one at my new job. I'm meeting people and whatever. Well, I have a desk and it's one of these open office things that they do now. And so I have a desk and there's a bunch of people around me. Some of them I work with, some of them are just other people. Well, there's this pretty cute girl sitting across from me and we're making eye contact. I'm on the phone and I'm in Zoom meetings all day, but we're making eye contact and smiling throughout the day. And I'm like, well, maybe, something. Well, anyway, first time I ever have a conversation with her, you know how it is when you meet a new girl, and especially in a work environment. Within like 3 sentences, she'll be like, oh, blah, 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 my boyfriend, blah, 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 or my husband, blah, 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 or whatever. So like she dropped the blah, 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 and I said, blah, 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 my boyfriend, blah, 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 boyfriend, blah, 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 boyfriend, blah, 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 boyfriend, blah, and my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And so that's all I heard was like, okay, fine. So we were making eye contact and smiling, but she was just being friendly. So anyway, we were talking and just, having a conversation. And she said, where did you used to work? Because it was my first day, my very first day. She's like, where did you work before? And I told her the name of the company. And she's like, dude, she's like, is that place down in the strip district that blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, yep. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, I had a job offer with them before I started working here. And I'm like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, but I turned that shit down. And I'm like, well, why? And she goes, because I went on Glassdoor and it was nothing but fucking bad reviews. And it said the place was a complete clusterfuck and blah, blah, blah. And she starts kind of like verbally telling me about all the reviews that she was reading on Glassdoor about this company. And then she looks me in the eye and she's like, oh my God, but there was this one review. It was fucking crazy. She's like, it was so wild. And that was after I read that and about the company Tinder app and blah, blah, blah. She's like, that one review was like, she was like, oh my God. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to work at this place. And I was like, oh yeah, they definitely got some bad reviews. It was my first day. I wanted to take credit. For it. And I just kind of smiled and I said, oh yeah, it was definitely a crazy place to work. And yeah, the company Tinder app was very, that was a pretty interesting experience. Do they have the company Tinder app here? And she's like, no, who the hell would even do that? And I was like, well, that's good to know. And so we were just like talking about it. But she mentioned that she read all of the bad reviews, but then she goes, but there was this one. Oh my God. It was so bad. And then I made up my mind and that was it. I couldn't work for them. And she turned down the job. And I was like, I never told this girl because I really didn't. I decided to go work in a different building. I had a lot of autonomy and freedom at that place. I didn't have to like use that desk. I could just go find a random place to chill if I wanted to and go sit over here or go over there or whatever. And there was this one building where you were allowed to wear jeans all day. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to wear jeans. I'm going to Jeans Town. I'm not going to dress up like I'm not going to wear dress pants and a suit to come and sit in Zoom meetings all day on a laptop. I'm going to Jeans Town across the street. So see ya. So I went to wear jeans every day instead of that because that building was just, I was in the building where all the CEOs and shit were, the new fancy building, and the shitty building where all the Indian programmers worked. I used to call it Little India. You could wear jeans there. So I'm like, fuck it, man. It smells like curry, but I like Indian food. So fuck it. Let's do this. And so I went and wore jeans every day. And so I didn't really see this girl anymore. Maybe once in a great while. In fact, somebody finally just took my desk away because I never used it. But I just didn't feel like telling her on my first day at the bank that my review was that one. Like, oh my God, there was this one review. Holy shit. It was bad. And I'm like, oh, I think I know which one you're talking about, but I didn't tell her it was me. I didn't tell her it was me, but it felt so good to know that my review on glassdoor.com caused a girl to turn down a job offer at a company that was hemorrhaging people and couldn't even keep people working there. They couldn't hire people fast enough to replace the ones that were running out the door. And my review on that website was one of the reasons why, and it was a big reason. So, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Like, seriously, don't fuck with people. You're going to get fucked. Like, talk about fuck around and find out. Drop the company Tinder app on all of us. Fucked around. Well, you done find out. You found out, didn't you? Nobody wants to come and work there now. You can't get any talent because Adam dropped a fucking bomb on your glass door page and everybody's like, fuck that place. And they tried like doing corporate speak and responding to all the different comments, trying to make it sound like a good place to work. I'm like, there's 6 reviews here that all say it's a shithole. There ain't no reviews saying it's a good place to work there. I swear to God, they were probably going to start offering Amazon gift cards. We'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card if you leave a good review on glassdoor.com. I mean, I swear to God, they would fucking do that shit. So it felt really good when the company that screwed me over, I mean, was I perfect? No, but I did a good job for them. And that place, it just turned into a shit show. And I didn't have anything to do with that. I tried to do a good job for them and build. I tried to do my part to, give them something that was worth selling. And they wouldn't have it. So what the fuck are you gonna do? And it's a startup too, that's how it goes sometimes. And but to go to my very next job, on the first day of my very next job, and this random girl that I meet before I even go to lunch on the first day of my next job is telling me that my fucking review on glassdoor.com is the reason why she turned down the job offer to go work with them and came to work here instead. Like, that is not just a random coincidence. That was Jesus himself saying, Adam, you did the right thing, and I want you to know. I'm putting this girl in front of you today. She's going to smile at you and she's going to make you, she's going to give you that look. Like, it's going to make you want to talk to her. And then you're going to find out that you did the right thing, my friend. And with that, don't be afraid to do the right thing. HR, useless. I know how I'm going to peace out on this one today. Just give me a second. Let me go here. Okay. Just give me 1 second. This is the perfect way to end today's show. I got 2 examples here. All right. Can I do that without the thing automatically playing? Fuck, dude. Don't fucking ruin the joke. YouTube, fuck. I hope nobody heard that. So, anyway, so you're filling out a job application these days and it's a bunch of AI garbage, right? And they might ask you to do something stupid like they want you to upload a video resume now. Take a video of yourself. Why are you applying for this position? And then you either have to upload a video or record a video of yourself answering the question. Like, and so there's this whole Reddit throw, bro, for one application, really? I hate when they do this. It feels like we're just monkeys dancing for their potential approval. Don't do it. Same goes with AI interviews. And so on and so forth and so on. There's just a bunch of people going crazy about this. And then I saw another example today. Here's a question on a job application. It says, send us a TikTok style video on what makes you different. The more creative, the better. It's like, how long do these job applications take to fill out in the first place? You gotta upload your resume. Then you gotta write a cover letter. Then they take you to some form where you gotta copy and paste all the shit from your resume that you just fucking sent them into the fields of a form and put your entire fucking resume into all these little boxes, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And now you got to answer a bunch of retarded ass questions. And now you're almost done. Now you got to send us a fucking TikTok style video about what makes you different. The more creative, the better. Make it 30 seconds to 1 minute. The video should be uploaded to a platform such as YouTube, Dropbox, or Vimeo. Please note that applications without a video will not be considered. And so if I'm telling you, handy tip, if you get to that point in a job application and they want a fucking video, I got the perfect link to send them. Just send them this. Here's the link. I'm going to put it in the chat. And just send them this. You just got rickrolled, motherfuckers. So before I get the copyright strike here on my fucking channel, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. I hope y'all have a good week. Hope you're not too mad about getting rickrolled if you stayed till the end of the show. And with that, I think I'm just going to have to say peace out. And all you channel members, I'll see you on Sunday or Tuesday. You'll know in advance. And for the rest of you, I'm just going to have to say peace out. And I'm never going to give you up. I'll never let you down. I'll never run around and desert you. With that, we're going to say peace out till next week. I'll never tell a lie or hurt you.